Hello, hello, hello. Hey, just us Hambricks. How are you, sweetie? How's everything going? What are you doing? How are you doing? Just going crazy here. Trying to get everything done before school starts and everything. It's just crazy. So much to do. So much to do. Hey, Sharon. How are you guys? Sorry I'm not showing my face today, guys. I'm trying to get everything done before I go on my trip. So I look like heck, because of it. But I'm gonna try to get everything done so I have everything ready. I'm excited about my trip. Get to see Kevin in a few hours. Well, tomorrow, this time tomorrow, I will have seen Kevin. He will. This time tomorrow he'll be landing. Actually, I won't see him till tomorrow evening because I have. But it will be cool. How y'all doing? You guys doing all right? You ladies, I should say. Yes, I'm excited, Sharon. It's nervous. I'm nervous as heck because it's a definitely a new experience for me. But I'm going to do the best I can and have fun with it. Right? That's all we can do. I think in anything like this, vacation before school starts and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, how are you? How are you, my sweet friend? Thank you, my love. How are you? You guys doing all right? Y'all doing okay? I am Sharon. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about seeing him. Just getting to talk to him in person. It's gonna be all right, Waffles. Y'all get out, y'all. Not be resting here. I'm trying to come out. Come on, out. They're resting on the floor. Go on out. Go play out. Go play outside. Go play outside. Let's go pretty down. Thank you, babies. Just having him here, getting to talk to him in person rather than on the phone all the time is gonna be neat. Just never talk to him about other things, and just having him here, I guess, is gonna be a whole different experience. Hey, how are you? How are you? How are you? Good to see everyone today. Come on in, guys. I'm not showing my face today only because I have so much to do and I look like crap and I got to get it all done today. So I'm trying to do good with that. So I'm sorry if I'm not showing you my face, but I deeply apologize for that. How is everyone? Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. How is everyone though? What you guys want to chat about today? Went to hairspray rehearsal last night. Had a great time. Really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun, guys. I'm really enjoying this experience playing Mama now. It was really hectic at first, but it's become a lot of fun now. Taking on this character, exhausted. Me too, girl. Me too. Hang on a second, guys. I'm gonna put my clothes in the dryer. I'll be right back. So I was cleaning, so I hope you guys don't mind cleaning with me. But anyway, guys, you guys are so good. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, it is hot. It's hot in here. I'm gonna be going swimming in a little while. Hang on a second, guys. Wow. All right. So anyway, guys, hey everybody. Thanks for my mods. I always try to thank my mods first and foremost for being amazing at what they do and for keeping my little butt in line when I'm online. Because without my mods, I'd be nothing. So if you were one of my mods, thank you so much for being one. First off and foremost, Sharon and Justice Hambricks, who's in here right now as my mods. Thank you ladies so much for being one for me. It means the world to me, you know, to have wonderful people who are mods in your corner. It means a lot to a little country boy. Yeah, plenty of that. Trying to pack it back. You know, I'm terrible. I was telling Kevin, I said, I'm one of these people that I pack so much stuff. I bring so many clothes. Okay, honey. Okay, sweetie. Bye, my sweetie. Care Queen, you're so funny. You are so funny. I love her, guys. She's funny. She's a good person, though. She's fun. One of my friends that comes in here. You guys, what you guys up to today? Sharon, what you gonna do today? You guys excited about everything going on in your lives? I can't wait to see Kevin, guys. I can't wait. I know you guys are going to be excited to hear about what's happening with Kevin. Um, I might do a live stream. I'm not quite sure yet. It depends on how our day's going because I'm really dedicating all my time with Kevin right now. Oh, yeah, season 7 was horrible. That's the final season, right, girl? Yeah, that was a horrible season, girl. That was horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh, yeah, how's your foot doing? What did the doctor say, Sharon? What did the, yeah, I meant to ask you, Sharon, honey, what did the doctor say about your foot? Well, I know everybody's going to be wanting to see Kevin and hear from Kevin and all, but I'm not going to force Kevin to do YouTube. Kevin is not, he's a shy person. And so I'm not going to force Kev to do YouTube or anything like that until he's perfectly comfortable with it. So I can't promise, guys, that there'll be any pictures of me and Kevin together or anything like that on live streaming this weekend while I'm gone. He does exist. I promise he is a real person. I will maybe get him to talk on a live stream or something, but I doubt he's going to show his face just because that's the way Kevin is, and I'm not going to force Kevin to be in a situation where he's uncomfortable. I just don't think that's for the best interest. So I doubt you guys will get to see him, but I'm sure he'll talk on camera at least or something. Oh, and the new season. Oh, is that the last season? I got to finish that up. I'm on like 4 episodes to finish that up. I got to get it finished. Got to erase it off my TV. I haven't watched it yet. The last season. It's pretty wild, though. It was a crazy season. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Justice. Thank you. I'm going to try my very best to focus on what me and Kevin, and what me and Kevin need and do together. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a great time. Hey, girl. How are you, Allie? Oh, no, Joe. I'm not helping defrost no freezer. I hate doing that myself. I hate doing that here at my house. I'm not doing it nowhere else, child. Heck to the no. Heck to the no, 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 Joe. No, no, no. No, Joe. It's a tough job, though, Karate Joe. Can't imagine what you're doing right now. Oh, I hate doing that stuff. It's a rough job, Joe. Truthfully, it is. Hey, Steve. How you doing, buddy? Thanks. I'm excited, ladies. I'm gonna finally get to see Kevin and talk to him and get to spend some time with him and hang out with him. So that's gonna be a nice, fun time for Kevin and I to see each other. So that's gonna be interesting, in the least I say, um, for the two of us. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. Very blessed with what I got with Kevin. I really am. So I'm very excited about, it's kind of the beginning of everything, I guess, because, we've known each other for 3 years. And off and on, we've talked for 3 years, I should say. And everyone is like, where'd Kevin come from? But I promise, guys, he's legit. He really is a good person. He really is legit. He really is my sweet, sweet man. But we didn't really talk about it much because we just didn't really take it beyond where it was. And then when we decided to take it to the next level, that's when we decided to go public with it and things like that. It's going to be fun. So, it's going to be fun. He's a good guy. He's very good to me. And for that reason, I'm very blessed. Kevin is very, very good to me. He takes very good care of me. He cares a lot about me, and he cares about me, what I think, what I do. So for that reason, I think, I love him. So, but anyway, guys, glad to hear you guys are here. I'm trying on clothes if you guys wonder what I'm doing, because I'm telling y'all, I'm a pack rat, and I have so many clothes. I have clothes that date back, I think, when I was in high school. I was looking at this, like, oh my God, this has not been in since like 1982. So I'm trying to get rid of a lot of my stuff. I'm going to donate a lot of it to the Salvation Army. The stuff that's still in style. Now, some of this stuff I got thrown away because I don't even know if anybody would want this stuff. Like, it's old, and I keep everything. I don't know why I'm such a pack rat. I apparently am. So it's kind of crazy, in a way. But how much of a pack rat I truly am. It's overwhelming at times. I'm like, boy, this is crazy. So, but I decided to get a duffel bag this time rather than a suitcase, because I tell y'all, I'm telling y'all, like, if I was going on this trip, I'm going to be gone, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, come back late Monday. I would literally probably take about, oh my God, 10 pairs of jeans, 12 shirts, 15 pairs of drawers, like 40 pairs of socks. I just really overpack. My roommate always picks on me whenever we go places and on trips and stuff because I tend to overpack. So I just have to kind of laugh at that. It's funny though, because that's the way it is, So that's where I'm at. Yeah. Someday I'll fit into them against you. Like, I got size 29 waist. I'm like, child, I will not be a 29 again in this lifetime. Throw them away. Give them to somebody that can wear these things. I'm never going to be that skinny again in my life. Those days are over. So it's like crazy to me. Crazy. It's like, what was I thinking? Thinking I'm even going to fit into them, because I'm not. I'm just not going to fit into them ever in this lifetime again. So why bother? That's kind of where I am. Hey, Joe. How are you, buddy? Come on in, man. Come on in. And I'm like, high school's a long way away. I've not been in high school in years. So, no. Probably you're not going to fit into them no more. Put them away. So they got to go to someone else that can use them. And I don't mind. I just got to give them up, I guess, some days. You just got to give them up some days. And other days, you just got to pray you can fit into. Like these I got on now. These are the kind I got on right now. To lay on the bed and you just pray to God they fit, but you pray to God you ain't got to sit or do nothing crazy. Because, girl, it might not last the whole day. Hey, How are you, Mammy? Mimi? That's another sweet person. How are you, sweetie? Come on in, guys. Come on in. So what are we gonna talk about today, guys? Let's come up with a great subject and let's talk about it today in here. Anybody got a particular subject or anything they want to conquer in here today? I would love for you guys to have a nice compliment or something. Not compliment, I'm sorry, a nice subject or something that you guys want to discuss with me. Please feel free to do so. Thank you, sweetie. How are you, Alyssa? Welcome, my sweetie. No, they're not out. My pants are not outdated, Joe. No, they're not outdated. My jeans are not outdated. Some of my pants might be. I actually found recently a pair of my parachute pants from the 80s, though. Those were like really bad. Yeah, I remember those damn parachute pants. I have some, yo. I honestly have a pair of parachute pants. It's crazy, but I have them. But I have to throw them out. That's where accepting oneself for who we really are. And you know what? That's very, very true. And that's a good subject. And I like that because that kind of reminds me of Hairspray, because I was really, really freaking out. Guys, I made that video about wanting to quit and everything. And it was because I was in my head. I was really, trying to talk myself out of it because it was a challenge for me. And the one thing I realized playing this character of Mama was here I was playing this really strong character who overcomes her own fears and she learns to accept herself for who she is and what she is. And the fact that she's a big person or whatever, she accepts herself for that. And so I was like, you know what? I can't just walk away from this show and quit. Hey, Robin. All right, baby girl. Thank you. It's so good to see you, Robin. She's such a sweet lady. It was just so awesome too. I had to kind of think like Mama and think, you know what? Mama wouldn't let this stop her, and I'm not going to let this stop me either. You know what I'm saying, Justice? Justice, if you want to come on the panel, honey, and talk with me about it on the phone, we can talk about it on the thing today if you want. I'd love to bring you on. I know you're a very wise woman that has a lot to say and a very one of the most amazing people I know. So if you want to come up here, I'll send you a link on Twitter and you can come up here. You ain't got to show your face. I'm not showing mine today. And we can talk about it together face to face. That'd be fun. I'd enjoy talking. That's a great conversation to have. You got to go. Oh, okay, sweetie. Well, I love you, though. I'm sorry you're not going to be here because I hope that you have a good day. Thank you for the amazing messages you sent of encouragement that you send me often. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Just Us Hamburgers. She's a wonderful lady. She's very wise beyond her years. She's a very amazing woman who knows a lot, sees a lot, and she just has a good intuition about her, not tuition, intuition about her. And I just really enjoy conversations with her, So I just want you guys to subscribe to her, show her a little bit of love on the channel, and let her know you care about her. That would be awesome if you guys could do that. That would mean a lot to me and a lot to her, I'm sure. You guys would be willing to pull that off today. So that would be the bomb diggity. The bomb diggity. I can barely see. All right, baby. I'm sorry your head's pounding so bad. Anybody else have a subject you want to talk about today? I'm pretty game to talk about anything today, as long as it's not bad or insulting to someone. I don't want anyone being insulted or feelings hurt or anything like that today. So we're not talking about ugly stuff like that. I don't want to do ugly stuff or have ugly conversations about people because that's not nice. But I will not have a problem subbing and talk about anything else on a channel that people really feel more comfortable talking about. So if you guys have a subject you're willing to talk about or want to talk about, bring it up right now. Let's talk about it. Anything you wish to discuss on the panel, we'll discuss today. As long as you're not talking ugly about somebody else or dishing somebody else's dirty laundry. I just don't want to see people sad and hurt today. Thank you for subbing to her, Joe. Thank you for that, buddy. She appreciates it a lot. I know I appreciate people are subbing and watching my channel and stuff. So thank you, Joe, for being a loyal supporter of us all. Thank you so much, Joe. We deeply appreciate Joe. And people like Joe that support us, Karate Joe as well, both Joes, Joe Howe and Karate Joe. They're both very big supporters of our channels and our stuff that we do. So thank you guys for being awesome and being great supporters of who we are and what we are. Thank you to everybody who comes and watches our stuff and supports us week after week after week after week as we do what we do here on YouTube. So, yeah. But I think that being yourself is the most important thing you can be. But often we in life, we try to change ourselves, and I found myself doing that quickly. Cool. That's awesome, Joe. I found myself even on YouTube at one time trying to please everybody and trying to please certain people. And I found out quickly that, you know what, I can't do that. I can't please everyone. I can't be everyone's whatever. So I had to learn that I can only be there for me. I can only be me and be the person that I am and just make the content that I'm able to make and love the people and try to be a good person. And that's all I can be. And that's all I can, I expect from other people to be themselves as well. So cool, Joe. That's awesome. I'm glad you found it. That seems to be a good deal, Joe. I'm glad that you were able to find that. It seems like a really good deal there, buddy. Glad my friend Joe was able to find that, guys. He's a good man. Should you guys sub to everybody on here? Show a little love. Come on in. If you're new, come on in. Hey, guys, welcome. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down if you want to. It just puts me in your live feeds and makes you look at my beautiful smiling face a lot more. But come on in. Welcome. Have a seat. We're just talking today about random things. If you have a subject you'd like me to talk or a question you want to talk about, please feel free to put it in the chat and we will discuss it. As long as it's not ugly or demeaning to someone or tearing someone down, saying something ugly about someone is not going to cut it here in TPG's world today. So if it's other than that, if it's not drama or something, we'll be happy to discuss it. So yeah, I'm getting ready to go to Charleston, South Carolina. I've got this little trip planned here. Very excited about it. So I'm going to be spending time with Kevin, and I'm very, very excited to see him, and I know he's very excited to see me. I know he's been talking to me today, and he's very excited. He's going to go home and get his stuff ready, and he's got a plane to catch early in the morning, so he's gonna be able to chill out and everything. Hey, Alicia, Charleston's my hometown. Yes, Joe, I know life's dangerous. I watch out, but I appreciate it, though. Glad that you're trying to show people care, Joe, that you know. I'll be very careful out there, Joe. I promise, buddy. I will be back. Kevin will be there. Kevin won't let anything happen to me. I promise you. Kevin will keep me safe while I'm on my journey in Charleston. Promise you, Joe. Joe, he will keep me safe. I'll be home. You guys will see me home as soon as I get home. So I might do a live stream while I'm there. I don't know yet. A lot of it depends on how my life is going with him at the time. So we will see how it goes. But I would like to do a live stream, maybe, possibly, and see. But I don't know how our lives are going to work for me and Kevin at that point. So for right now, we're just going to say I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to try my best. to do it for you guys at least once while I'm there. But Kevin will not appear in it. It'll just be whatever we're looking at, so you'll just hear him because I don't want, I don't want to put him on the spot like that. Oh, Allie. You know what? I'm the same way, Allie, when I was growing up, especially when I first came out of the closet, Allie. I was very, very terrified to come out of the closet as a gay man. That I was very scared of that my mom or dad would abandon me and I'd be living on the streets homeless because I knew so many gay people at that time who their parents had thrown them out or had abandoned them. And here they were children basically living on the streets, because their parents had thrown them out or something. And so I definitely understand, because that was very hard for me as well, to be accepted and to have someone to accept you for you, and to try to change because you feel like you're, I had to be what my parents wanted me to be. I dated girls in high school. I slept with girls in high school just because, I wanted to be what my mom and my grandma and everybody thought I had to be. But I was just making myself miserable. Honestly, Allie, I wasn't that man. I wasn't this man that everybody was trying to make me out to be. I wasn't much of a man because I was lying to myself. I was lying to all these people. It just wasn't who I was. So I certainly get that, Allie, in that capacity. I very much understand that, and you still try to change your events. Guys, this is crazy, but my grandmother was a very dominating personality, and she was very, very dominant, especially to my mother. The day my mom died, my mom was still afraid of my grandmother. My grandma's been dead a long time, of course, but my mama still wouldn't smoke around my grandmama. She just was very, very scared of her own mama. I didn't live in fear of my mom because I'm not like that, but my mom was tough on me, and she had some crazy ways about things. And sometimes I look back now and think, wow, Mom, why did you do that? But she wasn't an abusive mom. My mom she did the best she could. She had a very rough life with her mom, and my mom sometimes didn't understand the right way to go about things with children or people or things like that. So my mom struggled a lot with, I don't think she ever felt like she was truly loved by anybody, because she was always longing for that love from us, and we tried to give it to her as much as possible. My mom had some strict, tough ways. My mom was she was treated very psychologically bad by her mother. So she was psychological sometimes with us, in saying things that she would say to us sometimes, looking back. And I had this conversation actually with Debbie not so long ago on the phone about how this, about the situation with my mom and this. I talk about it a lot, but my mom was, she was not abusive, but she would say sometimes mean comments trying to make us change. She thought, if I call you fat, then you'll lose weight. If I say mean things about you being gay, you won't be gay anymore. But she didn't realize that it was just doing damage to us more so than all. Did my mom love us? Of course, my mother loved her children more than herself. She loved her children more than life itself. She just sometimes had a hard time reaching out to us. She didn't know she didn't know what to do sometimes, how to love. So my dad's the same way. My dad is very, very much the same way. Like my dad, he's very lost, very sad. I'm trying on clothes, guys, still. I'm see what I need and I don't need. And I feel very sorry for my dad. But, he's in this position he's in now with my brothers and sisters, and he's staying there. And he's not always nice to them. And I told him the other day, I said, Dad, when you're screaming and hollering and calling people ugly names, no one wants to be around you. That's not cool, So I'm trying to teach my dad that he's going to have to realize that my dad's always been a person who screamed and hollered. And, I grew up with a lot of hollering and a lot of screaming. So I don't raise my voice at my students. I have to be super mad to raise my voice. I just don't do it. I'm a very patient person. I try to be, at least. I don't want to raise my voice. I grew up in that. So it's very hard for me to be around a lot of hollering. I don't like bosses that scream. I don't like boyfriends or relationships when they scream, Like, example, this is not talking bad about him because I love him. Hold on one second, guys. When I first met Kevin, one night Kevin got a little frustrated. Kevin, he got firm. I won't say he raised his voice, but he got firm. Um, yes, exactly, exactly. Yeah, you know, I see that, Allie, and that's exactly right. Like my brother, my mama would say things to him, and he was fat, you know. And it actually later in life shamed my brother to the point that he was scared to leave his own home because he was a bigger man. You know, so that was so in a way it was hard because my brother then lived his life in shame as an adult, almost as a recluse, you know, because my mom made him feel so bad about being an overweight man. Not meaning to, guys, and I love my mom. I miss my mom terribly. I miss my mom every day of my life. My mom was my best friend in a lot of ways. We were close. But I had to sometimes tell my mama how it was. You know, I had to say, Mom, you're not going to talk to me like this. Mom, you're not going to, you know, this is the way you talk to me. So, you know, it's funny that I've had to grow up almost in a little bit and be a teacher to my parents sometimes. You know, I had to teach my mom and dad. And I guess one of the hardest moments for me was when my parents first adopted my brothers and sisters. You know, they sat me and my brother down and they were like, what did we do wrong, you know, for you guys? And so to tell your parents what they did to basically screw you up, you know, it's not an easy thing to do. It's really not. It's not easy to tell your mom or your dad, you know, you did this, you did that, you did this, you messed me up in this way. You know, to get to have that opportunity to tell them, you know, Mom, Dad, I need you, you know, this is what you did. That was certainly a very hard pill to swallow, a hard experience for certain, you know, because you never know, you don't know how to tell that to your parents. It wasn't that you weren't loved. I was very loved, very loved. My father still loves his children. My dad grew up. His father told him after the age of 10 years old, you don't tell your male children you love them. That's gay. You don't do that. It's a gay thing. Only gay people say they love each other. So I grew up with a father who didn't know how to say, son, I love you. And so now my dad does it now. He's gotten very good at it. He says it all the time, son, I love you. But the first time my dad said it to me, I literally about had a heart attack because I was like, wow, you know, what did he just say to me? Because I didn't understand. I was like, why is this man telling me he loves me? He's never said to me my whole life. What the hell, you know, what's going on? So that was very hard to adjust to, having that kind of father, you know, that didn't, and it wasn't that I didn't feel it. My dad just didn't know how to love, you know, you know. Yeah, exactly. It was hard. You know, my mama, I was telling Kevin last night, my mom and I got into a lot of fights. And I mean, this is not, you know, not like, we got into a lot of fights because I didn't let my mama say, because she would say things sometimes and I would strike back. I felt like, you know, you're going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. You'll stop this if I tell you, if I hurt your feelings. And that's not a way for anyone to treat their parent, trust me. And I'm not proud of that by any means, because it's not the way to go. But sometimes, you know, it's just like anything, you know, when you go through enough, whether it's bullying or whatever in life, you know, you have to sometimes just hold your ground and stand up against it. And you have to say how you feel. And that's certainly, you know, rather it be in whatever way. So for me, you know, I just sometimes would be like, Mom, enough's enough, or, you know, stop with this. Or she'd call me a name or say something ugly, and I'd say something ugly back, and then she'd start to cry, and it would hurt my feelings, and I would really feel bad, you know. Yes, exactly, Joe. Yes, she was called fat. She ended up killing herself from anorexia because she developed a disease because of it. But, you know, people were raised like that back then. Like, people were raised to hate, or to, you know, my mom was raised that you don't like gay people, you know, you don't like this, you don't like that. That's just how my mama was, you know. It's not her fault, you know. Um, you know, it was just it's her upbringing. And my mama did come around later, guys. I don't you know, my mother grew to love my gay friends probably more than she loved me sometimes. She was very welcoming. She would go to the gay bars later on, you know, drag queens. I was straight for a long time, Joe. Drag queens sent my mom flowers when she passed away. You know, my mother had a lot of drag queen friends, a lot of friends that she loved. Once she learned the community and went into the bars and met gay people and learned about gay people, my mom was very understanding and acceptable. And my mother was the first one to say, you know what, I misjudged this. I was wrong. This is not wrong. So my mama was woman enough to admit that she had made a bad judgment call on her feelings towards homosexuality, you know. Yes, I did have a similar upbringing, Allie. I was very, you know, my parents were poor, you know, but they gave us the best they could. Did I have great parents? I say yes, I did. Did they always make the right choices for us? I think they made the choices that they felt were best. I never starved. I was never homeless or hungry. I always had clothes. You know, I might not have had designer clothes or things like that. And I took some bruises in high school for having to wear poor kid clothes because my dad, you know, was a poor military guy or whatever. I took that. I took the hell out of that, you know. But at the same time, hey, Mitchell family. But at the same time, I grew from it and I learned from it, Allie. And that's the most important thing is the man. I would not be the man I am today if it wasn't for that. And I told someone that recently that, you know, I'm glad that my mom was strict on me and that my mom had that upbringing and brought me up that way because it made me stronger. It made me a better person. It made me, I'm not in jail. I've never been in jail. Yes, you're right. You're right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right, and that's the truth. And you know, parents make mistakes, and I learned that. And you know, I used to think my mom and dad were the meanest people growing up. Oh my God, they were so mean. But as I got older, I realized, hey, girl, I realized as I got older that my parents actually were amazing people, and they taught me right. And a lot of the values was everything they did right. No, because my parents were not perfect. You know, my mom did not know any different than to raise me like that. So instead of growing up to hate my mom as an adult, I had to realize that, you know what, my mom did the best she could. She didn't know any different. You know, she was taught by my grandmother, and my grandmother was not the best person in the world, guys. To be honest with you, she just wasn't. She was a very manipulating, mean woman. When my mother got married, my grandmother pulled a gun on my mom and my dad and said, I didn't raise you to get married. I raised you to have to take care of me when I was an old woman. And she tried to shoot them. So, you know, my mom grew in fear of her mom, and my grandmother was very, 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 very bad in that capacity. You know, like I said, she was terrified of her mom until the day she died. Like she just was terrified of my grandmama. And my grandmama was, again, she was raised with a lot of hatred, prejudice, everything, you know. If you weren't white Southern Baptist, you were not, you know, going to heaven. That's what my grandmama believed in, and I don't believe that. Yeah, guys, say hey to my good friend Sharon, Simply Southern. She's one of my she's been with me a long time. She's one of my original mods up there with Just Us Hambrick. Sharon's been one of my mods for a long, long time. Awesome lady. So y'all say hey to her. She's a good person. I'm glad to call her my friend. But she's been a mod. And Sharon, thank you for being a mod for me for such a long time. Thank you to all my mods who are in here right now. I think Sharon, you might be the only one on duty right now. Allie, I was going to make Allie one, but I don't think she wants to be one. But to my mods in here, thank you so much, mods, for being in here. Sharon is awesome. She's been with me a long time. Hey, what's up, guys? It's a Mitchell family. Make sure you guys. Hey, Zoe, there's my sister. What's up, girl? My sister from another mother. How are you, everybody? I'm getting ready for my trip with Kevin. I went out and bought some new shorts and some cute little shirts to wear. I got my hair cut, shaved my beard off, so I look a little younger. You know how it is. You know how it is. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to do a video later. I got to go to play practice tonight. Got to turn it in. I turn black. But no, basically that's all it is. It's just learning to love yourself. I think that was my biggest struggle all of my life because I battled. You know, as a teenager, I'm going to go ahead and confess this. I've never said it on YouTube yet, and I'm trying to think about it. I was bulimic. I battled an eating disorder for a long time growing up because of my weight. You know, I was an actor. I tried to go professional, and one minute it's you're too fat, one minute you're too skinny, one minute you're this, one minute you're that. So I constantly battled my weight. And so when I would look in the mirror, I was a size 28 waist or size, really tiny waist. And I had these abs and, I showed y'all a picture of what I looked like one day. I ended up like seeing myself as like a 900-pound guy in the mirror. So I had to overcome that. And it was very hard. I remember eating and sticking my finger down my throat and going through a lot of these things that you have to go through. It was very, very sad to what I went through. Bye, Karate Joe, buddy. Good to see you. I love Karate Joe. I want to make Joe a mod too, but he said no. So you have to basically, I had to overcome an eating disorder. I had to overcome, when I got older and so I was gaining weight, it was like, wow, I'm getting bigger, and I still struggle even today as an adult with my weight. I don't see myself as, I see myself as a bigger man, and I look in the mirror and I think, oh my Lord, what have I become even today? Hold on, guys. I had to block it again. I'll check it like that. So it's just basically, it's that way. And so, battling with your weight, I certainly don't like to call people fat or anything like that, because I myself don't like being called that. But I just think resorting to calling people names anyway is childish. Name calling is very childish. But I know we all get angry sometimes as adults. And that's the first thing we do. We say, this person, that person. And we say things out of anger. And I get it. And I've done it. And I can't sit here and say I haven't, because I'd be lying to y'all. I'm a hunk. Oh, thank you, sweetie. I don't think so, but thank you, darling. Sharon, you see my new faux hawk in the picture there? You see my little mohawk? I know you probably appreciate it. I need to send you a picture of it, Sharon. I'm going to send you a picture of it. But, and Sharon, thank you for being my mod for so long, for being a good mod and being a good friend to me. I know we've had our situations, but Sharon is a good person with a good heart, and she really has, y'all. She's been with me a long time. Her and Just Us Handbricks have been mods with me since early on in my live streaming days. She's one of the original mods I have, one of my few originals. So she's been here a long, long time as a friend and just everything else. So she has been some great. I used to do late night chats, guys. This was funny. Okay, I'll send you the picture right now, Sharon. I used to do late night chats, and poor Sharon would be one of my mods, and she'd be trying to stay awake, and she'd be like, TPG, you're so late. I can't do this. And so she would laugh. We'd have to laugh at Sharon because she'd be trying so hard to stay awake and all this kind of stuff. But I just would laugh at her. Because she tried so hard to stay awake and hang with us in the big time. But she did. She hung in there for a while, a couple times. But we had to. A couple times I had to cut it early. So her and a couple of the other mods too. They were not night people, and I used to do these really late night chats, and they were really long. Sometimes they were like 12 to 2 or 12 to 3. And so the ones that had time differences, it was definitely different for them. So it was like, oh my God, Yes, I made her miss her bedtime many nights. Be right back, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I have this weird thing that I do. Usually when I buy new clothes, I wash them. I do. Okay, sweetheart, I love you, and I'm glad we had our chat. And it's interesting to know that we have a lot of the same things in common, Allie, in the way we were brought up and the way you understand a lot of, our upbringing, and we just know that we can't fault our parents. We just have to stay and be who we are, and eventually they'll come around and accept us. My mama came to see me when I was a drag queen. It was a very awesome thing. The first time I looked out in the audience and saw my mom, sitting in that audience watching me in drag. It was like, wow, that's my mother. The woman who used to just not even like the gay community is sitting in a gay bar watching me do drag. I was so proud. She was so proud. She loved it. She absolutely just had the best time of her life watching me in the shows and coming to shows, and she got to meet the drag queens and she just loved it. It was just a neat part of her life. So for that, I was really like, wow, Mom, I'm proud of you, girl. You done good, Mom. You done good, So, it was definitely that moment, because my mom, I was like, damn, Mom, you did a really good job. She really tried in her later life to come around and learn to love, Learned to love for who people were. And that took my mama some time too. It was not an easy fate for my mama. It just was not the way my mama was raised. It was not the way my mother was. And I grew up, we would fight about it. My mother used to think, go to church and you won't be gay, do this or that. But my mama had to realize that that's not the truth. It's not. It's just not who it is. It's not who. It's not real. It's not. It's not who it is, or it's not about anything else other than that. So my mom had to come a long, long way to learn acceptance for her children. And I believe that mama did the best she could. And I'm glad that I had my mother. My mama made her mistakes. She did, but I'm proud she made them with me, So I love her to death. And I don't regret a single moment of my raising. And I miss my mama every day. I'm sad that I wasn't given the opportunity to talk about my mama when I first came on YouTube because of other people and their situations. But I was kind of robbed of that, I think, early on, which was my whole vision of coming on YouTube. But in the situation at all, it's just. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Sharon. You guys are awesome to say that. I'm just me, guys, and that's what I try to tell people often. I'm just me, a kid from the South. I know kid, I'm a grown man, but I'm just a guy from the South that just learn lessons the way I learned my lessons. I learned my lessons well. I learned them hard. I learned them tough. I just became the guy that I wanted to be, the man I was meant to be for myself, for my mom, for my family. And that's all I could do, guys. That's just who I am and what I became, and that's all I'm ever gonna be. And I'm not gonna change that, And I tried. I had people trying to manipulate me on YouTube, and I'm an easy person sometimes because I'm such a trusting soul to be manipulated, and I've allowed it to happen to me, not just here on YouTube, a lot in my real life. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, what? It's not going to happen anymore. It's just not going to happen. And yes, Sharon is a very precious soul. She is a wonderful, wonderful person. She's an amazing soul. I love her. There's a lot of great people on YouTube, guys. There's some amazing, amazing people on here. Tracy Plans and Debbie Davis are two amazing souls. If you've never met those two women, they do a live stream at night. Go check them out. Sharon goes to them. She knows Debbie and them. Check them out. Get to know them. Karate Joe, amazing soul. Ali Pally, great people. You know what that is? Sharon has a thick Southern accent, y'all. Sharon talks like this. I couldn't even do Sharon's accent. I don't know if hers is not as bad as Debbie's, though. Debbie's is very, very Southern. Debbie Davis. I love to hear Debbie Davis speak, y'all. I love to hear Debbie talk because Debbie's accent makes me laugh so hard because Debbie's so funny. And the more she talks, the funnier her accent gets to me. I adore that woman. I love that woman. She's so funny to me. So I'm just like, talk some more, Debbie. Please talk. And so just hearing her talk is funny to me in the end. So I really am like, Debbie, please talk to me. So I love hearing Debbie talk. So that's fun to me. I love Debbie's voice too. Debbie's so funny. She's just funny. So check out her live stream, Welcome to the Nut House. I believe it's on 9 Eastern Standard Time, 8 Central Time. Check it out. Tracy Plans is from, she's from where I'm moving to, Chicago. She's from Chicago, and she talks like this. I try to do her almost with this New York Bronx accent. You do sound like Dolly Parton, actually, Sharon. Sharon does. I can see, yes, Dolly. I was trying to think that the other day. Who to compare you to? Dolly's a good comparison of who you sound like. I was waiting on Sharon to go, working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely. Yeah, Sharon has that kind of Southern Dolly Parton kind of accent, I don't think I have an accent. Some people on YouTube say that I do. I don't believe I do. Now, when I get tired, I have it. Now, Kevin loves it. Kevin thinks I have a huge Southern accent. He loves it, and he gets so funny when I do my accent when I talk in my Southern, what he thinks is my Southern drawl, which is so funny because I don't see it. But, it is what it is. I reckon if Kevin thinks I have a Southern drawl, then I guess I do, but I don't see it. But it is what it is. So whatever. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, guys. I'll be right back. 1 second. All right. You have different accents according to who you're talking about. I think so too, and that's funny, Shem, because I did have a really bad Southern accent at one point in my life, but I took a lot of theater classes and a lot of acting classes to get rid of my accent when I was, doing a lot of theater and stuff because I didn't want to be that actor. I have a friend, she's a wonderful actress, but she can only do her accent. She can't get rid of it. So she has a hard time getting a lot of parts because of her accent. You know, so I, I just have to say, you know, sometimes you don't understand, you know, what's going on or whatever. But yeah, so a lot of people thought I was from New York because I learned so hard to not do this Southern twang accent that I was born with. And I've had people get on me and say, "Are you embarrassed of your Southern culture?" Not at all. I love my Southern culture. I'm a Southern boy. I embrace my Southernness. I'm proud of it. Sometimes, I mean, I certainly love the fact that I was born a Southern boy. I'm a Southern man. I'm proud of that fact. I must say I love being a Southerner. It's an interesting fact for me. Um, hey, Debbie Davis. No, I did not. We were just talking about you, wonderful. Debbie is the hostess of At the Nut House. Debbie, you want to come on the panel with me today and chat for a little while? Just hang out with me and talk back and forth, banter back and forth. We're just talking about all kinds of different things. Just mostly about being ourselves and about our accents and just good souls out there. Good or bad. Debbie, I've never talked bad about you in my lifetime, girl. I'd call Debbie a hooker, but nobody else better call that woman a name. I'll be done busting in the head. I love that woman. She know I love her too. That is Debbie Davis. Probably, I would say Debbie, Tracy, Joy, and Sharon are probably the closest things I have to her sisters sometimes. I talk to them all the time. I know Joy's already called me about, excited about Kevin, and Debbie and Tracy have called me. And so it's been a very, I'm sending it on Twitter, Debbie. They're all concerned, and I get it. I totally understand, I totally get it. There you go, Debbie, honey. I sent it. All right, guys, I'm so excited. My good friend Debbie Davis is coming on here. She is the hostess of Welcome to Nut House. I'll have her talk a little bit about it on here. I don't have a ton of people. I'm going to put you in here, Debbie, as my friend, as my special guest. I'm going to edit this real quick so Debbie can come on in here with me and chat. Everybody can know that Debbie's on here because I want to give her credit for being in the chat with me because I love her so much. So I'm excited she's coming on. If Tracy was here, I'd bring Tracy on too. Debbie Davis herself. Now, this is a true Southern person, y'all. This is a true Southern accent, and I love to hear her talk. Her and Sharon are probably two of my favorite Southern accents in the world. I could listen, y'all, for real. I call Sharon. I like Sharon's accent so much. Sharon's going to kill me for saying this. She's probably never going to talk to me again. Sharon, get ready to never speak to me again. Okay, so Sharon, I call Sharon sometimes just to hear her talk because she has the sweetest, funniest Southern accent. She's got this very sweet country. She just got this great accent, and I just love it. And so I call her sometimes just to listen to her talk. I did. I sent you on Twitter, Deb. Did you get it? I just sent it, baby. I'll send it again. Send it again, girl. Send it again. That's your account, baby. I sent it. There you go, Debbie. Yeah, I sent it a minute ago, Debbie. I'm going to send it one more time if you didn't get it.
Hey.
There she is. What's up, girl?
Not too much. What are you doing?
See, Sharon says I rave about you and Tracy all the time. Not much. I'm trying to clean my room and get my stuff packed for this trip. And I was talking about this other. Debbie, I'm a terrible packer. I was just talking about this. Like, if I'm going to be gone, like, say 3 days, I'll pack like 7 pairs of jeans. I'll bring like 15 pairs of drawers. I'll bring like 40 socks, 16 shirts. The last time I went out of town with Gabe, we went out of town for 2 days, and I had He counted like 17 shirts I brought with me. I
Oh,
brought
yeah, I do
five.
the same thing.
Huh?
I let me mute this. I said I do the same thing.
I brought 5 pairs of shoes, and I'm like, he's like, we're not gonna be gone but a day and a half. What the hell? But I was like, you never know what I might need. I don't know if I need it. So
I bring bags. My husband bitches because I bring so much because he has to unload the car and load it up, and I'm going on a trip to Mississippi in October and for a wedding, and I will carry a bunch of carry-ons, a bunch of bags. I'll carry backpacks, everything,
I mean,
suitcase.
yeah, it's you want to make sure you got everything, girl.
I know, I
But
know.
when I went to Hilton Head a couple years ago with some friends, this is really, really funny. I made sure I packed and repacked and packed. I had everything, girl. I had my 14 shorts, my 12 swimsuits, my 70 million pairs of socks. Girl, I got there and didn't have not near a toothbrush. Not
Well,
near. Yes, girl. We had to go buy me a toothbrush. Of all the things that I forgot was mine. They're like, Bradley, you done brought your whole damn wardrobe. You can't remember your damn toothbrush. I had everything else but my toothbrush, girl. I was about to die.
I always make a list, and then as I'm putting it in my suitcase, except for any toiletries or anything I take with me goes in last. But I make a list, and as I put them in the bags that they go in, then I scratch it off the list, and then that way I go over it and I know whether I forgot anything or not.
Oh, I should try that. That would be awesome. I should try
Sure.
that because I'm not good at that. I'm just very sporadic. Like I'm surprised I'm actually packing right now. Like I'm surprised I'm not throwing stuff in the bag 5 minutes before I go meet Kevin tomorrow because I'm
Yeah.
not. And I'll go through it probably 3 or 4 more times and like make sure I got everything. And then I'll take stuff out, add stuff. I just went. I'm like, why do I need 7 shirts? I'm not going to be gone that long. So I'm trying to take stuff out because I don't want my bag to be too heavy. So I went out and bought me a duffel bag rather than a suitcase, so my space is more limited. I think that's will help me out.
It will. Just hang your clothes up when you get there. That's what I do. I just hang everything up when I get there. And then I also I bring some of that stuff that you spray on things and it releases the wrinkles.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah.
I always take that. I hang it up and I spray it down with that really good. And then I always bring Lysol because I'm gonna Lysol the top of the bed, the back. I Lysol, I pull the sheets back. I don't care how high dollar the motel, hotel, whatever resort is. I look under the sheets, everything.
Wow. I
Well,
never.
you never know.
No, you're right. I'm a germaphobe about stuff like that, and I'm surprised. So I'm gonna do that. I've never thought about that, but yeah, I I I have a really funny story about this, though, Debbie. I don't know if I've told you the story, but when I went to Charleston a few years ago with my ex boyfriend, we were up there and we were staying in this hotel, and we were supposed to have a smoking room, but of course they didn't give us one, and we both smoked, and it's a bitch to go outside and smoke. It just is. So we had this lady in Charleston. There's a religion called Gullah or Geechee. It's called Geechee actually, but it's part of the Gullah thing. And it's basically this woman was one of the housekeeping ladies, and she's like, "Oh, you boys smoke?" I'm like, "Yes, man." She's like, "Oh, no, no, you just smoke in room. I got spray. It's magic. Take it right out of here." We swore this one was a voodoo queen. She would come in while we were gone, and she would spray a room. Girl, you couldn't smell. It smelled so good. Couldn't even smell the smoke. We're done. I tipped her like $40. I found her, and I called down the office and asked him to send her up to my room. She said, "Everything all right? Everything all right, boys?" I said, "Oh," I said, "You were awesome. I want to give you a tip." And I gave her, 2 20s, and she said, "Oh, good Lord." She said, "No one's ever tipped me this big." She said, "Tonight on my way home, I'm going to stop and buy the best weed in all of Charleston. I'm going to sit down and smoke a blunt and think about the two nice white boys who decided to actually appreciate me for what I did." We're like, when she left, we're like, "Shh, she's not going to put a voodoo hex on us now. We want to make sure we were voodooed." I mean, she was like voodoo queen. Like we were like, she was really sweet though. She'd come by and talk to us all the time. She's like, "How my two white boys doing today?" We're like, "We're good, we're good."
Well, it's like that in New Orleans too. You got to watch who you piss off in New Orleans because there's so many. Well, all through Louisiana, I ain't gonna lie about it. You don't know who voodoo, who's into the voodoo and not. And I've heard so many people's told me stories like if you find a brown bottle, you dig a. If you see a brown bottle and it's under the ground, like if you're digging around, don't pick that brown bottle up or you're going to be cursed. And don't open a white bottle or a clear bottle. I mean, I was hearing all that crap from somebody I know in South Louisiana, and I was like, I'm not picking up anything out the damn ground.
Right? Well, I know in Charleston, like we took a tour a couple years ago, and I'm gonna take Kevin on it hopefully. And it's they tell you like they used to paint their houses a certain color and all because of the
Yeah,
spirits.
yeah.
And there's what they call boo hags in Charleston, and the Geechee. That's what they're called. And the Geechee people. I'm gonna have to if I go on this tour, I might videotape it so you guys can see it. But the boo hags are basically they're ghosts that come into your body, to your house when you're asleep, and they suck your soul out. And they take away. So you had to paint your house a certain color so the boo hags wouldn't come in. And that was a very Geechee thing. And like you know why people push their beds against the wall?
Why?
Because back in the days of when they believed people were witches, in order
Yeah.
for a witch to put a hex on you, she had to walk around your bed 3 times. So if your bed was against the wall, she couldn't get around the wall.
Well, I know we have something here in Louisiana. And I can't remember what they're called. I'd have to look it up. But they, the people believe in it, and they every time something happens, they blame it on this so-called ghost, and it's called something. And it might be like brew rags. I don't know. It's somewhere similar to that. And these people are literally scared of that stuff. They
Yeah,
are scared.
yeah, yeah. And downtown Charleston, I'll send you a picture when I go down there. I'll take a picture. So these women make these beautiful baskets, Debbie, by hand. They're gorgeous. I mean, these baskets. Who knows, girl? I might even pick you up one. Who knows? But
All right.
they're gorgeous. They make them by hand. I mean, they sit there, but you can't take a picture of some of the women because their religion is if you take a picture, you steal their soul and lock it in that picture forever.
Mm.
And I've seen them chase people down and break their cameras, like throw them on the ground. They say, "You'll steal my soul," and throw it on the ground and stuff like that. Yeah, because that's their religion, and they had to start hanging signs up saying, "Please do not photograph us." You
Well,
know.
I did buy some last time I was in New Orleans. I did buy some of those those dolls, you know what I mean? And I stuck I well, I said one was my ex-husband, and I stuck those pins in him.
I don't. I can see you doing that, Debbie.
I
I
did.
Girl, I might have to pick up some of those in Charleston, but girl, you and I got a list of bitches we gonna be putting on that shit. I better pick up about 40.
I picked up two, and I was like going crazy with it. But he didn't nothing bad ever happened. I mean, I didn't want nothing bad to happen to him, but I didn't want him to. I don't know what I wanted. I wanted to pay him back.
You just wanted to give him an itch in places where even a gorilla couldn't scratch, right, girl? We just wanted to give him a little bit of something. So now, I believe in that stuff though, because like I went to school with a girl in Charleston, but my best friend in elementary school was her mama was Gullah and Geechee. Honey, people don't play. They believe in that shit. They believe in that religious stuff now. And so her family was, and I was like the only white guy that like ever like came around them, So like I knew a lot about the Gullah and the Geechee religion because of what they were from, but I'm telling you, her mama would hit me in a minute.
Well, I know I had a friend in Italy that was married to one of the military guys, and she was a witch. And I'm telling you, she put spells on her own husband, and I was like, I am not going to get on. I am not going to get on your bad side. And she was a lesbian, but she wanted me, and I had to hurt her feelings and tell her I like you, but I don't swing that way. I'm married, and I like men. And she wanted me bad, and I kept thinking, oh my God, she's going to cast a spell on me, but she never did.
She gonna throw a love spell up on you, Debbie, make you like them women.
I didn't like her. We were friends. But I know that she cast a spell on her husband, and I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't good.
Wow. Now, I had a friend and he was a witch. One time I wanted to cast a spell on somebody that loved me or whatever. So, I wanted somebody. So he made me take him out to this graveyard in the middle of the night. Girl, it was so scary. And
Oh
he was
no.
stuff. And he told me I had to bury something by this certain part. And I had to keep it there buried for so long. And then we had to go dig it back up. And I was like, this ain't worth somebody loving me. I just want to sleep with him. This is too much effort on him. This is way too much effort. I don't want him to love me. I just want to sleep with him. So I was like, screw this. This is dumb. I'm not doing it. But he had me out there in the graveyard. And, I mean, like this. I would love to have a dog, just maybe 2 for her ex.
Doing spells that part well, I don't think there's anything wrong with Wicca and stuff like that because that's like nature and whatever. But I don't think I want to be like the other kind of witches, you know. I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to
we're not
delve into that.
the witches of Eastwick. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the witches of Eastwick. We don't be that kind of witch. I mean, but you know, I don't fault people for their religion, and I learned that. But I just always, every time I think about Charleston and the Charlestonian culture of the Geechee or the girl, I was thinking of that woman at that hotel. I mean, we'd walk by and she'd be going, "Hello, boys, how are you, boys?" And she'd have that thick old, I can, "Hey, white boys," and she'd be talking, "How y'all doing?" And we'd be smoking, and she's coming up. I mean, she'd spray this. She called it her magic spray, and she'd spray.
Yeah.
You couldn't smell smoke nowhere in that room. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. I just would laugh. I
Was she
would.
was she Jamaican or was she like was she
She was,
Creole?
she was Geechee, so it's kind of like a Gullah. It's Gullah people is what it is. But, uh,
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Geechee's more their religion. But it's the way
Okay, it's a religion.
yeah, Geechee's more like kind of like their religion or what they're called. Gullah is their, I believe they're called, but the Gullah, it comes back from the slave days.
Yeah.
You know, so it was kind of a lot of the do with the slavery and stuff like that. I'll try to find some information on it when I'm in Charleston and get it for you.
I have to get the name of that one that they're so scared
Yeah,
of down south because
that's kind of like the Boo Hags, and I think I was actually that's one of the tour guides when we took the tour in Charleston. She made that comment. She said, all of these stories somewhere else they have a their own version of it. I guess
right.
every city has their own version of the Boo Hag, or like Bloody Mary. Everybody has their own version of that story of, how many times you turn around in the mirror, or how many times you do this, or So everybody has their own version of that. I think in their own way.
Yeah, they do. I wish I could think of the name
But
of this.
New Orleans is like the voodoo capital. Now that place is like boohoo. That place is
Who?
scary. New Orleans, like
Yeah, yeah.
Louisiana. That's like the voodoo
Oh
place.
my God, New Orleans is. Oh God. Well, we call it New Orleans.
Oh,
Um, it has a lot. Um, it's called the. They call it the. Well, it's kind of stirred. It's a pot. It's like there's so many different cultures and stuff down there.
melting
Religions and
pot.
things.
It's a melting
It's
pot.
a melting pot, a pure melting pot. I love it down there. Every chance I get that I can go, I like to go. It's only about 5 hours from me, so I can hop in the car and go if I want to. Um, I like Bourbon Street. I like going in the clubs. I've been in booty shops. Um, I like going in those places. I mean, that's where I bought
Are they
the booty
scary?
shop.
Is the voodoo shop scary, or are they just like a normal
No,
shop or whatever?
no, they have like those bones and things that like are hanging on a. They also have things that protect you that you can carry around or wear around your neck or you put under your bed and different things because they believe like you go to a voodoo doctor opposed to you don't go to like a regular doctor. They see like a doctor that they see. I think they call it. I don't know what they're called, but I say voodoo doctors.
Witch doctor.
Yeah, and they treat them. They treat the people down there, and the people that are that believe in that and I guess they're fine. Everything works out for them. But I do know they do believe in casting spells, and they believe in protection. A lot of protection spells and stuff, and love spells and things. But I'd be I don't want no ugly spells on me. That's all.
Well, you know what? It's crazy, Debbie. I guess like people believe what they want to believe. Like I know people that don't believe in ghosts. I do believe in ghosts.
Oh, I do too. My daddy's been in my house. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I mean, if you've seen one or had an experience, but I was telling people like Gabe, for instance. Gabe was like, I don't believe in ghosts. I've never had that kind of experience or whatever, like that. And so, I didn't fault him, but when we went to Charleston and took that ghost tour of Lavinia Fisher, the jail one I told you about, she
Yeah.
had an experience with her actually in her cell that freaked him out. Like he said he will never, ever, ever go on that tour again because he said he was very, very scared of her.
Well, she must have been a bad one. I,
A horrible woman. She's very bad, and so it scared him. He said the feeling that came over him. He said he believes now in spirits. He said, you don't have to necessarily see a ghost, but a lot of times on ghost tours, Debbie, they talk about this in Charleston. I hope somebody gets to see you and take you on a ghost tour in Charleston because they say, you may not see anything. So if you're coming on this to go ghost hunting and think you're going to see a ghost, you may not. So if that's what you're going to base our tour on, then you're going to be kind of sad because you're not going to see a ghost. You may and you may not. There's a funny story in Charleston. This tour guide was doing a tour, right? It was like about 6 o'clock at night. It was with dusk when the sun's just going down or whatever. And there's a story they tell about a famous woman in the graveyard.
Bradley. Hold on 1 second. They're bringing the cats back. They got spayed. Hold on.
Okay.
Be right back.
All right. When Debbie comes back, I'll finish the story, guys. Is everybody having fun so far? Is everybody doing all right and chilling and everybody hanging out and everything? Ooh, Lord. Lord have mercy, there's a dog. A dog, you hear the waffles. Oh, Raven. All right, guys. So, oh, Lord. She sounds just like waffles, My dog Oliver's like looking up like what's going on. Yeah, mine is too. Oliver's like, what the heck's going on? Oliver's like, what's going on? Oliver's like staring up, like looking around. Did you get a new dog, Daddy? Did you get a new dog? No. Waffles is like, what, Daddy? Who's barking, Daddy? Who's barking, Daddy? I think all of our dogs are Waffles. Waffles. Come on, Waffle. All right, Debbie. I'm gonna tell you text. Her. I'm gonna send her a text. Debbie. Yes. We're good now. Yeah, I enjoy ghost stories and stuff. I know a lot of Charleston ghost stories. I'll share them with you. But I'm hoping if I go on a ghost tour in Charleston, that they'll permit me to videotape one and put it on a live feed. I'm not sure what the rules are on those in Charleston. They're very, very. Charleston's a very cultural city, and it's very touristy, and so that is part of their tourism is these ghost tours and these walking tours. So I don't know if they allow me to do that. I don't know what their rules are on that. So they may not allow me to videotape, but I hope that they allow me to do it because I know that there's stuff online on the people. But I actually want to take you guys on the tour myself. I actually want to take you guys on the ghost tour myself. So that you're able to walk with me. That's what I'm hoping to be able to do. But I've never been able to. Actually, I know a tour guide. I'll probably text her here in a minute and ask her. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to eat too. Our roommate made some amazing fried chicken last night, and I didn't get to eat any before I went to rehearsal. Last night I had like one piece on the way, and I'm so hungry. So I'm gonna eat a little bit for lunch here. Waffles is trying to jump up in my lap. She thinks my pit bull is looking around like, what the heck's going on? I can mute Debbie, I think. Hold on.
All right, I'm back, Bradley.
Your dog was going nuts, girl.
I know she is. She cannot stand it if somebody's at the door. She has got to show her butt, and I just got a text from you that said I'm live.
Oh wow! I just sent you a note and said mute your microphone. She was she was making all our dogs bark. It was funny. So anyway, the story goes, Debbie, the tour guide did not believe in ghosts, and he told him, he said, I don't believe in ghosts or whatever, right? All of a sudden, it was famous for about this woman that walks in the graveyard in Charleston, and they believe her to be Annabelle Lee. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, she's buried there, and so it's Annabelle Lee. And all of a sudden, somebody looks up and said, "Who's that woman walking?" And all of a sudden, he saw the actual ghost that he'd been telling the story about for years. He took off running and left the group there. He ran all the way back to the office.
Oh my God!
So their shirts, their shirts for the company say, "If our tour guides are running, it's not part of the tour." He says now, he's like, "I believe in ghosts now."
Oh, okay. So he didn't believe in ghosts, and then he does now.
And he had never seen one, yeah. And all the time he had done the tour.
That changed that real quick, didn't it?
Yeah, he'd never had an experience. And a lot of the ones that do that haunted jail tour with limited officers, they go in there, not believing in ghosts, and they have some sort of experience that happens in there.
Yeah.
It makes them believe in the ghosts, and they're like, okay. Well,
I have to. Well, I asked them when Rocky can get spayed, and they said he has to be 2 pounds.
Oh, wow.
It used to be, they do it at 4. I think 4 or 5 months. And the ones that I just had done, that their mama was murdered, I believe, they were only 4 pounds.
Wow.
Well, let's see. Maggie was 4 pounds. Well, they both were. Both Maggie and Daisy were both 4 pounds. And then Sophie Bell weighs 8.5. But, Sophie is my tabby that we got.
Wow.
She's 2 years old, but yeah. Anyway, they have their rabies shots, and Mike, the one that stays in the house, already has his round of shots.
Wow.
Pick that up there. They actually, if they're feral cats, they will help you with the payment. Like the payment is lower. I think it's like $25 each cat. And if you go up there, like I will have to take Rocky to get neutered. Get off of that couch, Speeches. I mean it. I'll have to take Rocky to get neutered, and it will cost me probably about $65. That's with the shot and everything. And yeah. He's my house cat now. So
they did a thing with Waffles. They gave me like a coupon, and I got her fixed, and I got her chipped, and I got a rabies shot, and her nails cut off for it's like $30.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good deal.
Was that at a regular vet, or was that
at the SPCA? They have a veterinary clinic in our SPCA. But the coupon they give you, it gives you like 5 different places that you can go, and the price of it in the different places.
Well, see, this you can get you get so much off. You know what I mean? Actually, you pay what you can afford. And I told them I could just because I had 4. There were 4 feral cats, and I didn't want them to, like 2 of them 3 were female. I was not about to walk around here with kittens from 3 cats that wasn't going to happen. And I wasn't going to take them off because I'm not going to do that. There's too many mean people in this world, and I am an animal lover, and I'm not going to do that. So I just basically paid 25 for Sage, and then it'll be 25 for Dixie and 25 for Maggie.
That's good though. That's not bad.
And that includes their they got their rabies shot too.
Yeah, so see that would be, and that's probably that's not even close to that's probably what you pay just to walk in the office at a vet clinic.
Oh yeah, and where I'll take Rocky will be the same place that I took Sophie Bell. It's called Robinson's Rescue, and you take your dogs or your cats there, and they do it at a fraction of the cost as taking them into the vet, because the vet charges you an office visit.
Yeah.
They charge you to do it, and they charge you to keep them overnight.
Wow. Now this place, our SPCA here, they have an amazing vet office, and I've been. That's where I took Big Mama and all them, you know, and Charlie and all them. They cured all that up, so I'm really proud of it. Charlie hasn't been itching or anything, and I'm happy with it. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
So they don't. It's like $30 for an office visit, you know, versus 80 for my other vet and all that stuff. So, and it's really good, and their prices are really reasonable, you know.
Oh, not to change the subject, but the Cliff Bars I was telling you about, they come in two different sizes. And I bet they come in the 1 point something ounce, which has 26 carbs. And then they come in the 2 point something ounce, which has the 44 carbs, which is the whole amount that you can have for breakfast.
Wow.
The little one would be like having a snack.
Oh, okay. And I know Sharon Simply Southern told me about the ones that she eats too. She's also a diabetic as well.
I love these Cliff Bars. The peanut butter and chocolate are good, but the mint and chocolate are great.
Sharon, have you tried these Cliff Bars that Debbie's talking about? She said she buys them at Walmart. I bought one at the gas station today, and it was actually really good. I'm going to get me some for school. I'm actually going to get like 2 boxes, I think. And I'm going to keep one in my desk at school. Or in the cabinet at school, so I have one at school. So if I get to running late or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
it's unusual to run late, but no. So.
Oh, your kittens they have to be 3 pounds, Deborah.
Oh wow.
Now you know that's weird because my first cat, Sophie Bell, she had to be 4 or 5 months old, and then my dog, she had to be 5 months old before they did it. She did.
Waffles had to be 5 months old.
Yeah.
She already had I think Waffles had just started her first eat when I went to get her fixed, or she'd already had one, we thought.
I remember I kept telling you you better hurry because Waffles was out hunting her some ding-a-lingy.
Yeah, I believe that's where she was that damn day. She disappeared too.
Yeah.
I've been the whole like her mama. That's how her mama. Now her mama used to run. I told you, how her mama used to run and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But she don't do that no more since she got fixed. Like she'll go outside in the front yard for about an hour, and then she comes back. I guess she can't get her dinner like that.
Well, they still listen. What they do is they will still get it, but it just ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna get no babies.
Oh, they still do it? I thought they just didn't.
Yeah. Well, what it is, you're still gonna have that one dog. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, they smell them being in heat, but they still, you know how you got that still one dog that wants to hump everything. Now cats, this is what's weird about cats. When they go in heat, you don't even know it because there's no blood or anything. The only way I knew was because I would hear them outside going and be rubbing up next to you and stuff. That's how I knew.
Oh, okay. Because I know, like, baby was bleeding one day, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And then I realized she was in heat.
Mm-hmm. But cats are different. My daughter told me that her cat is she hadn't had her fixed, and she's 2. She said that's the only time she's lovable is when she's in heat.
Oh Lord. Yeah, my cat is very lovable. I was telling somebody last night, my cat lets you hold him like a dog. He licks you in the face like a dog. Like when you come up to outside, he'll jump up on you, put his arms around your arm, and he'll lick you in the face just like Waffles does when I come home. And I guess that's because he was raised by a dog,
Right.
Maybe. But he, it's crazy, but he is what it is.
Hey, Conklin, how are you doing?
It's just funny, But.
Rocky, he licks me all the time. Like I fell asleep in my recliner and I woke up and he was under the cover and laying just like up on my chest, like right on my boobs under the cover, and he wasn't out of it. I didn't even move. He slept there all night because my back was hurting me. So when my back hurts bad like that, I have to sleep in the recliner because I cannot lay flat on the bed.
You realize that he's going to be like rotten because you're his only mama that he knows. Like he doesn't understand that human, like he doesn't understand. You are his mama, like period. In the discussion, like that's your child, like in his eyes. That's like my cat when Buttercup. I wish I knew you then. We had found a cat. I told you this under our house. He was 3 days old. Right before he had just started open eye, maybe a week, figure a week at the most. His mama, where his mama was, just one little cat. We went outside, and we saw a dead cat out in the road. So we assumed that was his mama, and she must have been like moving them somewhere.
Yeah.
And left him, and she got killed. So when we raced, so we were in the house and we're trying to feed him, and he was screaming. You know how they are, how they scream. And our Buttercup couldn't have any babies. Our boxer, one of the old other boxers, Big Mama's sister, and she literally took that puppy out of our my ex-boyfriend's arms.
Yeah.
Laid on the couch. He put the bottle there. She nuzzled that bottle where it was like between her arm and her boob, and she fed that cat. And that's how, and she fed it like it was her and licked. I mean, and she wanted to be a mom so bad. She did this every time it was time to feed him. We would get the bottle, and she would go and like get up on the counter, knock the bottle off on the floor to tell us it was time to feed him. And she would, and then Charlie would help her clean him, and like when she was asleep or whatever, Charlie would keep him warm. Hey, Simply Coastal. Hey, everybody that just came in. Texas Life with Julie. Everybody. R. Conklin.
Hi, Julie. Hey, Coastal.
Whenever she came in, whenever she would raise him, and so that was the only mama he ever knew. Like he doesn't know that he was raised by a dog. Like he doesn't know about a cat because he was very dog-like for a long time. I mean, she taught him when he walked, and between him and my Jack Russell Beagle, they raised him like their own child. Like Charlie is my cat's daddy. Like my cat believes that Charlie is his father. Like he loves Charlie. And when that dog died, Debbie, you know that cat will not come inside now since Buttercup died. She goes to her grave.
Really?
Lays on her grave for like hours. Yeah, I looked at it a few minutes ago. He's laying on her grave right now.
Well, this one, okay, Rocky I think he still knows that they're so funny. Daisy and Maggie are like so lovable. It's so weird. I guess they missed me while they were gone, but they clipped the tip of their ear. Isn't that weird? They clip the tip of their ear when they spay or neuter them. Well,
a cat they do?
Yes, on a cat. And see, Rocky's mama, she knows I took him. And she had, she was spayed. And then I take him outside, or I'll let him lay by the door. And she'll just roll over and, and just love when he's outside. I don't let him stay long, but she'll roll over and just love on him. So I know that he knows that's his mama, but he also knows that I protected him. Those dogs, killed all of his brothers and sisters, all four of the others. So,
hero, you're his hero. Yeah. But I said, Waffles, you kept telling me I was going to keep one of these dogs. And I said, I was not going to do it. And I thought you were picking, but I think you're damn serious now. But, and like I said, that day I got rid of all her brothers and sisters. She was screaming her head off. And I thought, Lord, and I never wanted her to sleep in my bed. And now Waffles is human. Waffles is like she's rotten. Like I can't go anywhere without Waffles. Like I don't know how she's going to survive me being gone all weekend. I don't know how she's going to live through it. I think she's just going to probably have a stroke or something because, she's just not going to handle it well. This is the longest I'm going to be away from her since she's been born. So, except
they do that. People think animals are dumb, but they're not. They're just like right now, Sophie and Peaches are both mad. They're mad at me because I give them flea treatment once a month. I give it the one that I put on Sophie. You just put it in one spot on her back. It's that little liquid. Well, she's pissed. Well, Peachy gets pissed because I don't know why. It's not like it hurts her. You know what I mean? And she's right now, she won't lay down or sit down when you did it to her. It's like, you have pissed me off. I'm going to stand all day. She will stand 12 hours if she has to. She will not sit down or lay down. So right now, that is what she's doing. She's sitting
there. Cats amaze me because they're the most stubborn animal I've ever met in my life. Like, they're like that, and they'll stand there as long as they want to. They don't care. It's
But Peachy's doing it though. The dog's doing it too. Peachy is worse than Sophie Bell.
Well, now my mama had a Pekingese that if she cooked like hamburger or whatever, the Pekingese would go on a hunger strike and not eat for days if my mama didn't her hamburger. She would not eat. Like, she would lay there not eating. My mom gets so scared, so my mama would have to cook more hamburger, a separate thing of hamburger for Ming Su every time. And then my mama had a dog. It was a Chihuahua. And one time she was drinking coffee, and the Chihuahua puppy jumped up and started drinking my mama's coffee, and it freaked her out. And so every morning, my mama made this Chihuahua a cup of coffee, and it would get up and it would drink its cup of coffee with my mama while she was drinking hers every damn day.
Deborah, on my Chihuahuas, they put a tattoo on them too, and now it's huge because Poochie is fat. But they that because if what happens is if animal control picks them up, it lets them know if for some reason they get out and they don't have a chip or whatever, it lets them know that they have been spayed or neutered. And when the cats, the same way with the cats, when they cut the tip of their ear, it lets them know now that this is for feral. Now, Sophie Bill, they did not cut. This is what's weird. I'm gonna have to really look good at her, but I don't think they cut the tip of her ear because she's not a feral cat.
Hang on a second, Debbie. I got something at my door. Hang on. You just keep talking. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because Sophie does not have, I don't think her tip of her ear is missing. That's kind of weird, but.
I don't know. I'm looking on Waffles right now, see if they put a tattoo on her. I'll be right back.
All right. It's on their tummy, though. Here, I mean, it's where Deborah's is done. Mine's done. Oh, that's sweet, Julie. I can tell you what, if PG heard me open something and knew it was for her, honey, she takes off running. The minute she knows she's fixing to get a flea treatment and they're a month apart, she starts hunkering down and acting like, oh my God, I'm fixing to be abused.
Oh, that's how Charlie and Oliver are. Charlie and Oliver get like this infection all the time in their ears. It's good. The vet said they don't know why, but it's and I have to put drops in there. You think I'm killing these two dogs? Like, they howl and they scream and they roll and it's like dramatic. Like, it's like beyond. We laugh about it just because it's so funny. I mean, especially Oliver. God, Oliver howls, and when he's done, he lays on his back and just cries and kicks his feet. We're like,
the drama queen. Well, my cousin Susan, Susie Q, Dixie Charm Susie Q. Well, anyway, her one dog, when he goes to have his nails clipped, he literally does this. Oh, the whole time, and he acts like they're killing him, and they're doing nothing but clipping his nails.
I tell all of my dogs, I have to take them to the vet to get them clipped because they literally go crazy. Charlie cries like a human. I mean, he's like, he's just, oh my God, it's awful. And I feel so guilty, because they're just, it's like Charlie will try to get the tears too. I mean, Charlie acts like I'm literally going to kill him at any moment. When I'm done, when I finally decide to quit, he licks me in the face and jumps out like, got my way, and just goes, and I was like, Charlie, for real? Like, it's so funny because he's just like the craziest dog. Like, Charlie is definitely psychotically crazy or something. I mean, he's just funny. Like, I can't even describe how crazy Charlie is at times. Some of the things that little fella's done and just in the past, it's just like, oh wow. But we gotta love them, and they have people tell me this the other day, and I meant to send you this meme. I had to pretend today that cats and dogs don't feel emotions like people do.
Well, I can tell when I've heard. Well, Peachy, when I hurt her feelings, she hunkers down and acts like I've killed her. Sophie couldn't care less.
Well, I mean, I think a dog, I think that they don't fall in love with each other like humans do. But I mean, I think a dog, with their master,
yeah,
they know to love you. They know if they're abused or whatever, they grow to hate or dislike the person that's abusing them or something like that. I believe they do. I think that they feel love. I think they feel sorrow. Like, my dogs just started getting back on their normal routine since Big Mama died. Like, y'all, the day after Big Mama died, I mean, these dogs were, oh my gosh, moping. The pit bull howled and cried and had tears in her eyes. I mean, every time they go outside, it got so bad that Waffles and Baby tried to dig her up. Like, they just were so devastated over Big Mama. It was terrible. And that's sad, you know. And I didn't realize. I was like, well, they really do more. They're like mourning for her almost, you know.
And I believe they do because when Miss Spigot died, she was 15 and she had, she was diabetic, her kidneys shut down, and she would, like I told you, I'd have to give her that syrup because her sugar would go really low. And she was more hypo, And I remember the day I had been gone and I came in and I found her having a seizure. And I picked her up and I tried the syrup, it didn't work. So I had her in my arms and I knew at that point there was no reason to take her to the vet. Something just told me there's no reason to take her to the vet because they're going to say, we're going to put her down. And I just did not want to hear that. Well, she died in my arms. And I'm going to tell you, my dog, Peachy was so devastated that from the time she died and Peaches has never played with another toy ever. It devastated her. She used to, I mean, it was amazing. She would play and they'd chase each other and all this, and it stopped. It just stopped.
Wow. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, it's crazy, and you don't think of it. Like I'm telling you, like they mourned. My dog's really even Waffles, as crazy as she is. She for days they just were real mopey, and I guess Big Mama was kind of the leader in a way, and
Yeah.
they really missed her. Like my pit bull Lexi, now sleeps in the same exact spot every night that Big Mama did, with Big Mama's gorilla that Big Mama had.
Yeah.
No sleeps with Big Mama's gorilla that Big Mama slept with every single night. When Big Mama was alive in the same. I mean, like if I had put a box in my room yesterday in the spot where Big Mama slept, and
Right.
Lexi literally like tried to move it, and she barked at me until I moved the box out the way so she could lay in the same exact position Big Mama was in.
Oh.
It's like, yeah. So it's kind of crazy. I was like, okay, so she's taken to that is now her spot. You know,
Well, they miss them. I don't care. I've heard people say, "Oh, it's just and this is no lie. People have said, "Oh, it's just a damn cat. Oh, it's just a damn dog." Well, no, that's part. They're my fur babies, and they're part of my family. And that pisses me off when somebody says that because there are some people that cannot have children, and that is their children. And even though I had 4 kids and I've got 15 grandbabies, I still love my animals just like they're my kids.
yes. You want to hear a
And
story break your heart? And this is something you would do, Debbie. This happened in Aiken. This little boy was in the military, right? And he was getting shipped over to Afghanistan.
yeah.
He had this dog. I guess he had her about a year and a half, 2 years, and he didn't have anyone here, so he had to turn the dog in to the SPCA.
Oh,
Oh my God, it's gonna make me cry. He was blubbering like a baby. Like this guy was like literally, I'm still gonna cry out. He was so heartbroken over losing this dog. Like he was just like he was gonna die. Like this guy was literally like on his knees crying. He'd had this puppy since he was 6 weeks old. He was literally blubbering. Well, they
oh,
got his information and everything, and so this woman watched him, and when he turned her in, I mean, he stayed there till almost because he was crying. Just, I mean, it was heartbreaking. The lady that manager said it was the most heartbreaking thing she ever saw. He went to leave. He's just blubbering. This woman said, "Hold that dog," and she ran outside and she said, "Sir, come here." She said, "I'm going to adopt your dog right now, and I'm going to take it home, and I'm going to bring it to you every single day, and I'm going to send you pictures. And when you get home, I'll have your dog for you." That woman
oh.
literally adopted his dog right there, and she kept it, and she sent him pictures. It's a month
That's
every time of that
sweet.
dog until he could come home. She said, "I've never
Right.
seen someone love something as much as you do, and you don't deserve to lose this dog. So I'm going to be its foster mama until
That is sweet. That's sweet.
2 years that he was gone overseas. She kept him, and when he came home, she met him at the airport and gave him his dog back. That lady
I
said she had never
no.
so heartbreaking. She said she didn't care if she had to spend her last $20 to adopt that dog. She couldn't let that boy go with that heartbreak like that.
Well, no. I mean, it's you love your animals. I mean, I don't care. There are. I'm telling you, the man that we think that murdered Tiny. That the torties belong to. That I just had spayed. And of course, Buzz is the male, and I did not get Buzz neutered because he can go find him a piece. I don't really care.
Yeah,
I can't see the chat right now, guy, but I will in a minute. He can go find a piece. He just won't be finding no piece from no female I know.
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. And I mean, it is true. And like I look back at that story and think that boy really did love that dog like it was his own. That might have been all he. That seemed to be the only family he had. And to have to part with that is devastating. I couldn't imagine like just thinking about having to get rid of Charlie or like when Big Mama died, y'all. I was literally a mess. I mean, I was a mess. Ask Joy Emily. Joy Emily and Captain Caldwell. I was blubbering like that's my heart. Like I love Big Mama. I miss her. I can't even go out to her grave today. I mean, it's sad because I love Big Mama so much. These dogs have got.
Really, if you don't remember, you called me.
I
You
did.
called me, and then I called you back, and then you were like at school, and it was like I was crying with you.
Debbie was hysterical. I called Debbie. I was in my classroom, and the saddest part about it was my kids in class in the summer school. We talked about waffles and Big Mama every day. How's waffles and Big Mama? Well, they knew about Big Mama having being a little sick. So the day she died, I'm driving to class, and I think, do I need to tell these kids about Big Mama?
Yeah.
What do I do? So they came in, and they all get seen and say, "Hey, how's Big Mama? How's she feeling?" And I literally looked up
at poor baby. What did they do when you told them?
I said, I literally, like, my voice cracked, like it just did a minute ago. And I looked up, and the little girl said, okay, is she? And I said, no. The little girl said to me, she said, she's not okay, is she? And I said, y'all, Big Mama passed away last night. And they were like, they all they just stopped. Like, they didn't breathe. And they said, Big Mama died? And I said, yeah, she died. And the little girl said, I've been praying for Big Mama for a whole week. And so the little girl, she asked if we could pray, and they all prayed for Big Mama. And then they said they were very sad that Big Mama had passed away. And then one of the little girls hugged me, and then a little boy came over and he hugged me. He said, she's in a better place. She's up there in heaven. So Big Mama can watch us all now. So even though we won't ever get to meet Big Mama, we know she's going to look after us. And the little boy said, I asked God last night if Big Mama could be, he said, I just asked God if when I prayed a minute ago, if Big Mama could be my guardian angel. I said, well, you're going to have a good one. Yeah.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah, he said Big Mama. He wanted Big Mama to be his guardian angel, but I mean, I had to tell him because I couldn't lie to him. It broke the law.
You don't want to lie to them. And most kids, we, my grandkids know what death is because when they were young, when my dad died, the youngest ones were, if I'm not mistaken, 5 months old. Yes, Kennedy was 5 months old. The next youngest ones they were 4. So we, of course, left Kennedy somewhere, but JC and Kaden, they did go, and they do remember their papa, even though it's been 7 years. They do remember him. And JC, y'all, this is creepy. JC used to, the day my daddy died, I was on one side holding his hand because he was at hospice at the house. And my mother was on the other side holding his hand, and I was rubbing his chest because I could feel him breathe. And he was breathing. I guess his respirations were about one. He was breathing about one time a minute, And I knew, I've worked in the hospital field. I've worked in medical field. I know what that meant. I knew it was coming. And then it would just like once every 30 seconds. And when he finally took his last breath, I could tell. And I saw this tear come out of my dad's eyes. It still kills me to talk about it. Well, it was so weird because we had not allowed the kids in there after it got, really close. They stayed, they were playing in another room. My mom has a big house. And so we had them in another part of the house with, the company that was there. And when my dad passed, JC come in there, and she was 4 years old, and she said, Nanny, Mimi, I just wanted to tell you that the angels came and got Papa and took him to heaven. And we're just like, we're looking at each other like, oh my God, this child is 4 years old. She has no clue that her Papa was dying. We did not tell her.
Right.
And for her to come and tell us this was just like, oh my God. And then for about a year afterwards, she would tell us that my daddy would come and get her. and they would go walking and picking flowers, and he took her up in the sky, and she met people that she didn't know, and that they were smiling, and it was beautiful there, but he always made her come back. And I was like, oh my God, it tripped me out. But I mean, she was she was 5 when she told the story. So I mean, 5-year-olds do not know how to make things
No,
up.
no, I believe that. I believe that that's true. I believe that.
And
Uh,
she just, it's weird because I asked her now, do you ever see Pawpaw? And she said, no, he quit coming.
wow.
And yeah, so I said, well, he was just making sure that you were doing okay, and it was weird, but she, it
I,
made me it made me feel good.
yeah, that is cool. And they say, I was just about to say, I got two things to say. My mama, my mom used to always tell me kind of stories like that. You know that when you die, someone you love comes back and takes you to heaven or whatever. And I was always kind of like, whatever, whatever. Well, when my grandmama was dying, she turned over and she looked at my mom and she said, Brenda, your daddy just came by. He said him and my mom's brother, twin brother, I told you died when she was 7. She said,
Right.
Dad and Bobby were just here. They said they'll be back in a little while. They're coming to take me home. They told me to say goodbye to you because I'm going to be leaving soon.
Mm.
And she died that night, like she was gone. So I was like, wow. I heard her say it my own ears, and I was like, wow, that's freaking crazy. But here's a really weird story. Now, when I was a kid, I lived in Sumter, South Carolina, and one of my mama's friends, her house was built on like an Indian burial ground, and they
Ooh.
would always smell this really strong perfume and everything in their house. And
Yeah.
anyway, one night the lady, they got a baby Montreux. It was when they first came out, and this lady heard this really unique like singing. She thought, what is this? What the hell? And so she goes in.
Right.
Her grandbaby was spending the night at her house, right? So she goes to her room and she looks, and over the bed stood she said, the most beautiful woman she's ever laid her eyes on to this day, singing this song, petting the baby on the back, and the baby was not crying any longer. And it was
Oh.
a ghostly figure. And she said, what the hell? And so she just kind of backed out the room. Well, she said the next night she went in because she was watching the baby for the weekend. She went in, and the woman the baby was crying. So she went up there, her husband coming, and her husband started saying, get in here, get in here, get in here. And the woman was sitting like holding the baby, rocking it. So singing this song. So when her son came home to pick up the baby, she said, I got something to tell you. There was this woman. He said, Mama, did she sing this song? And he started singing the song. And she said, yes. He said, that's so and so. I said, Mama, when we were little, she's a princess. Her baby died and she would take care of us. He said, she always sang me that song at night to go to sleep, and she would cover me up when it got too cold. He said, it's okay. She's just taking care of my baby. I asked her to. Apparently, she was like some Indian girl that had died and didn't have a baby. And him and his sister both told their mama that they had seen this woman since they were very, very little, and that they were not scared of that. She would sing them that song every night, and they literally both knew the words to that song. Isn't that the freakiest thing, though? It's like, wow, like.
Yeah. Crazy.
So they think it was like he said, if you ever see her, she's all right. I trust her. She's not gonna hurt my child. He's like, she never hurt me. He's like, just let her do her thing. He said, when I brought her here, I went in that room and told her to watch over my baby for me the way she watched over me. He said, she's just doing what I asked her. He said, she's been our friend since we were little. And so she asked her daughter, and her daughter said the same thing. She said, Mama, I can't think of her name now, but she was like, yeah, that's her. And they both sang the song. And so it was like, she's always like, that's what I smell. That's that smell is like this perfume thing that she would smell. Is this Indian woman that just had I guess, had lost her child in childbirth or something. And
Yeah. I mean, it could be some weird thing.
but kids can see things that they say that kids and animals can see. I did my term paper on spirits in high school, and they say that kids and animals can see things that we as adults can't see. Like they see them first. So like, I believe your grandpa probably did see that. Like they see stuff that we can't see,
I believe that. I believe that myself.
Yeah.
It's because they're more they're more susceptible to, they accept it. They're open more than we are.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
They're just
innocent.
open.
and they have an innocence about them. Like one day, one of my friends in the next county, she lives in a very bad. Her house is so haunted, y'all. It's terrifying. Like there's a lot of ghosts that we've seen them in there, and you can just tell. She's had 4 maids quit just because they see a ghost in this one room of a little girl, and it terrifies them, and they leave. So her house is like a former governor's mansion, so it's haunted by some people who live there. But one of the ghosts is this woman, and she literally like. The little girl was acting up one day, and all of a sudden she stopped. She said, "What's wrong?" The little girl's crying. She said, "The lady in gray told me I better sit down and be quiet, or she's going to come back and get me." And if you go in the bedroom, there's a picture of this woman because she has all the original furniture and everything in this house, like she bought it. It's the original painting of the woman in gray. And the little girl was playing in that bedroom, and the woman told her to stop playing and stop making so much noise in that room. So that little girl won't go in there now. Like, I believe in that stuff. I do. I've seen ghosts on the ghost tours in Charleston. I believe in that stuff. Like kids see all kinds of stuff. Angels. Yeah.
I'm in South Louisiana. There is a plantation, and it's called Myrtle Plantation. It's Myrtle Plantation, myrtles. And my ex-sister-in-law, which I just still call my sister-in-law, she's been down there several times, and she said that she has taken pictures of things that when the pictures come out, there's nothing. It's not there what she saw. It's weird. It's just not there. And she said it's what it is. It's a bed and breakfast. You stay the night there. So I'm trying to get Susan to go with me, and Susan said, "I'll go, but I'm sleeping in the car." I said, "Well, there's ghosts on the ground. It's the same thing, You're still going to see a ghost outside. You see it on the inside or not."
Down here, because right down the street from me is a haunted bed and breakfast, and we'll stay. I'll get the lady. I know the lady, so I'll have her put you and I in the room, where the little girl runs through hollering for her mama, and she shakes the bed and calls you mama.
I would probably draw.
Debbie would poop her britches, y'all. Debbie Davis would poop her britches, and I'd probably poop mine too. So Debbie and I would definitely tell you about how we crapped in our pants in that room that day. Because there's a ghost. There's a hotel in Charleston that they talk about in the ghost tour that they had to stop letting people be in the room because there's a male ghost in there, and women have seen him wake. They woke up and he's in the bed with them.
Oh hell no!
Yeah, and or like when they're in the shower, they'll open the room and he's standing in the room right there, like in the shower.
Oh no!
They had to turn the room and turn off. There's some guy from the Civil War that was like a womanizer that had a lot of girlfriends and stuff. And yeah, women said that they've seen him plain as day, like get in the bed with people. And then there's another room that's got a headless man that people see in the room. Every single night he comes in there and walks through the room. I said, "Oh hell no." If I'm in, and I'm thinking about that this week, I'm like, if I'm in Charleston and there is a ghost in my room, y'all, I'm running down the street in my drawers. I don't care if I'm naked. I don't care if I'm naked. I'm running naked. I'll get arrested because I am not doing that. No hell to the no.com. I'm not doing that, Debbie. I will be calling you at 4 a.m, buck ass naked on the way to jail, telling you about how I saw a ghost in my room. I don't play that. But let me tell you, did I ever tell you about the night my brother died with my mom and I, the experience that we had? Did I ever tell you that story, Debbie?
Yeah, you told me about that. That was weird.
Yeah, I'll tell them real quick. My mom, I told Debbie, my brother died. And my mama woke up he died early in the morning. And my mama, when I got the call and everything, we got over there. Well, right about my house, about 3:14, I guess. My dogs went crazy. They were barking and barking, especially Big Mama. And all of a sudden, I heard like somebody walking, and I thought it was one of my roommates. And all of a sudden, the dogs just froze, and they were just looking straight ahead. And it was like the weirdest peaceful feeling. So my brother died. My mom came and got me, and we went over. We in the hospital. She asked what time he died, and they said 3:10 a.m. I said, and I'll never forget that time. And my mother looked at me and tears in her eyes, and she said, "He at 3:10 a.m. 3:10, 3:11, whatever. She was awoke. She felt somebody kiss her on her cheek and stroke her cheek, and the words 'I love you' whispered." And she woke up out of her because she, like you, slept in the recliner because of her back, And she jumped up out of her recliner, and she said that she knew it was my brother coming to say goodbye because she said he died at 3:10. She already knew it. And then I guess that was him walking through his house to say bye to me and my dogs, the dogs.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and I believe that he came by to say goodbye to his dogs because he loved his dogs. And when he died, everybody was like, "Oh, can I have Big Mama? Can I have DJ? Can I have Buttercup?" And I said, "No." I didn't want to be 7 dogs. I didn't want to be that crazy guy, dog guy with 7 dogs. That's not my life ambition. But I felt like, what? They've lived here longer than I have. And just because of my brother. If I would have died, my brother would have kept my dogs and raised them as his own. So I wasn't out to get rid of these dogs. You know, they've been here since they were weeks old. Why separate them due to the broken? Understood. I don't know if they ever understood because, like, my brother left away and never came back to this house. He went to have surgery and he never returned back to this house but one time. So I don't think they ever understood that he died or what happened to him. I think they just felt very abandoned. And so I don't have, my dog now, my pit bull that I have, she's very abandoned. And when I got her, my cousin's like, if you don't want her, I'll buy some poison for you and you can just give it to her.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm not killing her, even if she's a pit bull or not. Like
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Horrible.
She said, she's just a dog, child. And I was like, no. And you know what, Lexi, I love her so much. It took a long time for me and Lexi to be friends, but like I could go to bed with her and love her and stroke her. And she's very much about, when she's ready for her loving, she barks at me, she comes over, she jumps up, she kisses me in my face. I don't touch Lexi until she's ready to be touched. I kiss her like what I used to kiss all my dogs every morning, except for her. I wouldn't kiss her. I just say, bye, Lexi. And she kind of looked. I was going to school and I went to go to school and she started barking. I walked away and she jumped up and kissed me. And I was like, oh, so now I give her a kiss like every night because she wanted her kiss too, you know, like she's like, what about me? So like it took her a while to grow, but she actually is our best dog, like as far as overall behavior. And I would give her away to somebody, but I don't trust people with her because she's got that pit bull Akita. I don't want her being a fight dog because here right around where I live, there's these people and they'll take dogs like her because she's kind of wimpy. Like she's scared of vacuum cleaners, and because she's wimpy, they'll pull her teeth out and her claws, and they'll use her as a bait dog to practice other dogs fighting, so that they'll kill her. And I'm not putting her through that fate.
No, Lindsay has a pit bull mix, and he's precious. He loves those kids. He loves them.
Now, I'm going to tell you a story, though, about that, because my friend, one of the girls I used to work with at Duncan, back in the old Duncan, when I worked there the first time, her sister, her grandpa had a dog, a pit bull, for 17 years. This dog was old as the day is long, and he grew up with these girls, right? And one day, the girl went to kiss the grandpa. She petted the dog on the head, she said, bye, and she bent down to kiss her granddaddy, and when she did, that pit bull literally took her face off. Like, they had to put the pit bull down, and she had to have reconstructive surgery on her face.
What?
Yeah, they don't know. It just literally attacks her. Like she had to have surgery on her face because of that dog. That dog literally, she almost died from it. And
was this a full-blooded pit bull?
Yes, it was a full-blooded pit bull, and they'd had this dog since it was old. It was like it was like old. As she'd known this dog since she was born, before she was born, and she kissed him on the dog on the cheeks. I love you, baby, and then patted on her head. Dog's right there, and when she bent down to get her grandma, that dog they don't know what happened, if it triggered something, but the dog literally, like the girl was in the hospital forever. She almost died, and she had to have surgery. Like,
God, well, that's weird. You know, I believe that. You know, the full-blooded pit bulls, I do believe that sometimes they have, you know what I mean, in them. But this, Enzo he was a rescue dog, and they got him when he was a puppy. And he's very titty baby. He's like, he has that anxiety where when his mama leaves, you know, separation anxiety, whenever she leaves to go to work, he literally just can't take it. He just goes crazy. He can't sit down. He can't lay down. He just paces the floor until she walks in. And when she does, he sits in her lap, just like you would pick up a baby, you know, and put his head, you know, in the crook of your arm, and he sits just like that. And my grown old big ass dog sits like that.
He's half pit bull.
Yes, he's only half, and they said he may be just a quarter. He does have some pit bull in him, but he's adorable, and he has never once even scratched one of those kids. I mean, Kinley gets up there and rides on him.
Like I said, my friend has a pit bull, and they had a baby, and they had a little baby, and they were kind of scared at first because they have a pit bull. It's kind of like hers. He's spoiled, you know, and it was her husband, and they had this pit bull, and when they got pregnant, like, oh God, and the first day they brought the pit bull home, he kind of looked at the baby for a second, like, what the hell? And then finally he started crying, the dog back up, and now that's his baby, like that's his child, like wherever that dog, like when that baby's outside, that dog is right there, like if they said when he started walking, the baby started walking, the pit bull would walk beside him.
Yeah.
And just like always like sleeps right under his crib. He like was right there. It was just so, thank you, Joe, for coming by, buddy. It was so, they said he's so protective. That's like his baby, like his baby. And that reminds me, my mama used to tell me when I was a baby, they had a German Shepherd dog. And that dog was like that. My mama said I'd hit that dog with my daddy's combat boots. The dog didn't phase him. And one day I would try to go outside and like on the yard, and I'd try to get towards the road, and she would nudge back. Like if mama had to run in the house for a minute, she would be out there with the dog because the dog would watch me. Well, one day, mama said she heard me hollering. She heard me hollering. And she heard me, and all she saw was the dog had me by the back, like by my butt. So she thinks, oh my God, this dog is eating my child. Come to find out, I had dug a hole under the fence and was trying to get out, and the dog was pulling me back through. Well, my daddy, when I was a bad, he went to spank me, and the dog grabbed his wrist and her hand and bit into his wrist. Like, don't you touch my dog.
Lord.
That dog was like, she's like, that was your daddy and I were like, that's your babysitter. Like, my mama said they would have never done it, but they believed that they could have left me alone in that house with that dog and she'd have watched me. Like, my mama said that she had never seen it like that. I was her baby. Like I was her child. Like, there was, if I was crying in the middle of the night, she came and got me. They'd get up and already be up with the crib, like trying to get into the crib with me because I was crying. Mama said, she's like, we never saw such a thing, that you were her baby. And she loved that you were her child. But I think some pit bulls are great. Lexi is my heart now, but like the very first day I got her, my mom and I both great. Right? We go to get her and watch her. I was supposed to watch her for the weekend, and then the person decided they couldn't keep her, so I had her forever. But we went to go get her, and my mom and I both were terrified of pit bulls. It's just a breed that we're scared of. We're just so we get this dog, get over to the house, she growling the whole time at us. We're like, hell no. That's how it's literally in our car, in my mom's car, and she gets in between us. Literally, okay? In the back seat, she's got her head. She looks at me and she bares her teeth. And she she looks at my mama, she bares her teeth at my mama. So all I'm thinking is, so I wrap my hands so tight around her leash, If she comes after, all I'm gonna do is protect my mama. If she attacks me, that's fine, but she's not getting my mama.
Right.
So I was literally like, okay. I held on to her, and she would literally like turn to me and turn to my mama. And my poor mama was so terrified driving. I thought she was gonna have a wreck. Like, she was so scared. She's like, oh my God, she's gonna kill me. Like, so scared of her. And then we got to my house. She wouldn't get out of my mama's car. Like, she looked at us like, no, I'm not doing that. She would bark, and she was not getting out of the car. Like, the guy that owned her, she was very spoiled. So she was like, you're not taking me. I don't give a shit. And so it took a long time for her to be like that. And she would terrify me. Like, I kept her on a leash for 3 weeks so I could grab her leash, like in the house. I mean, she ran free, but her leash dragged behind her, so I could step on her leash or grab her leash if I had to, if she came after me or one of my dogs. I was so scared of her. And she knew it. She knew it. Like, she knew it. And Gabe and I both had to learn that with Lexi. If you come to my house right now, Lexi will not hurt you, Debbie, unless you're going to hurt me or Gabe or one of her baby dogs. Right. But she'll make you think she's gonna. She will intimidate you. A friend of mine came over the other day, and she put her nose right in his crotch and was like,
oh my goodness.
And we're like, she's not gonna hurt you. She's like, are you sure? Because she's got her head right, and she's like, and he petted. I said, he petted her on the nose. When she did, she wagged her tail and walked away. But he was literally for that 2 minutes terrified of her. And I'm like, she just likes to bully people. We call her the bully. She likes to bully. She's a bully. She likes to intimidate. But she's very sweet. But I think she could be provoked to hurt somebody. I think that she could be provoked to turn. I've seen it on her. Like, when Lexi does something.
Bradley, I think any dog can be provoked if there's somebody's trying to hurt their master. I just believe that.
Or even hurt them. Like Waffles, one time she was doing something wrong and I patted her butt, and when I hit her one time too many times, she tried to bite me. Lexi does the same thing. Like Lexi knows if she does something wrong, she'll accept her punishment. Okay, you're good. Twice, on your third time, she will come after you. She's like, I've got it. You've hit me. You spanked my butt. I got it. I'm done. but don't you be beating on me all, like popping me too much because I ain't playing with that. Like she's very, but she's never had an accident in this house. She's obedient school. She is maybe like if we're gone, like tomorrow when we're gone away to see Kevin and Gabe doesn't get home in time, she might have an accident then because she's gonna be gone for a long period of time. But it's very rare. Like she is actually our favorite dog. She's not very loud. She's very calm. She's just a good dog. Like she would make, I want to give her to somebody like a young person who doesn't have any animals that she could grow, go out and play frisbee with and play ball with, because I don't have that kind of time with her. But at the same time, I would miss her because she's become one of my children in a way,
Yeah.
And she's like right now, she's up in my bed. And she don't sleep in my bed at night. So she sleeps at Big Mama's, but she's in my bed. And if I go up there and try to move her, oh no ma'am.com. Last night, she was in here in the dark sleeping all night. I was on the phone with Kevin. I got in here, Debbie, no lie, to go to bed. And I said, move, Lexi. She raised her head and gave me a look like, dude, I have been asleep in here. And you going to wake me up? No, I don't think so. And she laid there, Debbie, for 30 minutes and refused to move. I tried to grab by her collar. She growled at me and dug and like laid hard, put all her weight down. For 30 minutes, she played that game. And finally, she looked at me and jumped down and got in her spot.
Yeah,
She's rotten. She's spoiled. But she can intimidate me because I'm like, oh, she's going to bite me. But I know she won't, but she plays that game. And I let her play it too because I'm scared. I don't want to provoke her because I know she's not a cute dog,
Peachy never has bit anyone. The big, my bigger Chihuahua that weighs, like 12 pounds, of that one. Anyway, she's not really fat, but she is kind of fat. But anyway, she, what I do is get the fly swatter and I'll just barely pop her on her butt. And that's all. That's her punishment. Baby girl, I just show it to her and she starts growling at me. And she would snap at me. That's no lie. So anything I let Big Daddy I let Pops, Big Daddy, take care of her because it's like she needs her flea treatment. So Big Daddy will come home this afternoon and hold her, and I'll put her flea treatment on because she's not gonna let me take her out of there and do it.
She Big Daddy's baby.
Both the dogs, as soon as he comes in, they sit by the back door because it don't matter if they just went outside. That is the ritual. When he walks in from work, he can't sit down and he can't do anything, can't shower or nothing. He's got to take them outside and sit out there with them. And then when they come in and he takes a shower and he sits down, they are up in his lap. Wow. And then the cat comes and sits at his feet. Then little Rocky comes because they haven't seen him all day. And it's like, it's our turn, And this is how they act all night. I mean, this is all night until bedtime. It's crazy. I don't know how he does it.
They would probably sleep with him if they let him.
Oh, well, they used to. The dogs used to sleep in my bed. But they shed so much. I can't take that. Peaches has got like white fur and brown. She sheds white. And oh my God, I can't take that. I can't take the hair. So I don't allow them on my furniture and I don't allow them in my bed. But they have blankets that they can, baby girl does not want to be anywhere except her crate. That's it. She wants to be in her crate with her blanket. So, hey, no problem. Unless she's on her daddy, on Big Daddy. But after that, Peachy is pissed because she's not laying on a blanket now because she's mad because I gave her the flea treatment. And she won't lay it on it till probably in the morning. But I just can't have that hair because the couch in the living room is blue and it looks horrible. And then I have a couch that's made out of a different material in my family room where I stay most of the time. I just can't deal with the hair, and every day I have to vacuum it off. So I had to put a stop to it. You catch Peachy if you sneak in there and you look, she's up on the couch, and then I have to get the fly swatter and say, no, we don't sit on the couch.
Well, I often say this. My dogs are kind enough to let me live in their house, sleep in their bed, drive their car, eat their food, and watch their television because this is their home. And the only one of my dogs I think would probably bite somebody, honest, is Waffles. Waffles is feisty. Like Waffles don't play. Waffles has tried to take on the pit bull before. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
they
Waffles,
do that.
Waffles is a mean, like she's a feisty little girl. Like she's not afraid of anything. Like that night that she disappeared the first time, she was over there in the horse pastures. If I let her out right now, we let her out the other day. She was out in the front yard. I mean, she ran over to the horse pasture, and she used to get through the gate, and she would go up in this horse pasture when she was really, really. Remember when she ran away the first time? She was so tiny.
Yeah.
In the horse pasture, and she goes up underneath these horses and cows and chases them and barks at them. So she's like, she's terrorizing these poor cows and horses. Like,
Well,
gonna drop down.
doesn't she have a lab? Does she have a lab in her?
Yes.
That's what that's about.
Is it?
Yep. She has a lab in her, and they do that.
Half lab and half corgi. Now yeah, she's half lab and half corgi.
They will go after, that's what they like. It's kind of like, you have the border, I think it's a border collie or one of those collies that goes after, certain things. Birds, like even I know that Heath takes my son-in-law, they take their labs hunting with them, especially duck hunting.
Oh, really? Because my border collie, Gypsy, Gypsy, she's half border collie and half Jack Russell, and she chases birds, squirrels. Like she tries to jump up in the air. Like if she's out in the backyard and she sees a bird, she will chase it and try to jump up in the air and catch it in midair. Like she said she's gotten older, she don't jump as high, but when she was a baby, she could jump really high. Like she could jump.
Bring yourself here. Like, I know what you're doing. Hold on. I know what you're doing, Peaches. Bring yourself here. Bring yourself here. She's trying to rub off that flea stuff, and she thinks, all right, come here, treat, come on. I thought so. Come on, baby girl.
So what room in your house do you do your lives in? Is that your kitchen or what? Your dining room table? What are you doing in your lives?
Okay, when I do my lives, I'm sometimes I'm at in the dining room. Most of the time, here lately, I do them in the family room. We have a family room and a living room. He stays in the living room because I'm fixing to get onto this. Come here, Peaches. Now, baby girl, come on. I'm not playing with you guys. Come here now. He watches sports all the time, and I don't care what kind of sports it is or what kind of whatever. And when I go live, I don't even have the TV on, but we don't watch the same things. Now, sometimes, he watches like that Wicked Tuna and that show with the people, in Vegas where that pawn shops and that the thing with Ozzy Osbourne and his son. But most of the time it's sports. It's always sports,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He's very big into sports. He played sports all through school, so.
Well, that's
Tree. I'm fixing it. I guess I'm gonna have to get the floss water. She ain't listening.
My dogs. I never intended. Like I grew up in that. My mama had 16 dogs in her house. Like my mama loved dogs.
Yeah.
And y'all listen. This is a funny story about my mama. This is the kind of soul she was. My mama had got a job at the SPCA. My dad at the SPCA. My daddy's like, no.
Okay.
So they asked my mama about. So one day my mama was told she had to go take one of these dogs and euthanize him.
No.
So, girl, my mama walked out. She got her checkbook out, her pocketbook. She said, how many of them are going to be killed today? The lady said 4. She wrote a check and took them all home. The next day, she ran an ad in the paper, free to a good home, and got rid of every one of them. And every time a dog was going to die, my mama would spend her whole paycheck rescuing these dogs so they didn't die. So we made her quit. My dad made her quit because she wasn't making no profit. Like she was saving these, but she would get them free homes so they wouldn't die. And every day my dad's like, and so like she's like, they're killing 6 of them tomorrow. So she'd start calling people. She'd run an ad in the paper, and people would call her all the time. And she's like, yeah, I'll bring it. And so she would find them a home just free. And my dad's like, at least like get a homing fee or something. Like, no, I saved their life. That's all the reward I need. And so she literally had like.
What did it cost her to do that?
A lot. That's why I said her whole paycheck. Like she got a discount, but she would save their life. Like, Literally, like,
Wow.
I'm not killing these dogs. Hey, baby girl. She literally was like, no. And so my daddy made her quit, and she was so guilty because she's like, I don't know how many dogs are gonna die now because I'm not working there anymore. But like every day we come home, she'd have a cat or a dog or something that was gonna be killed. And she got a little kennel thing and put out back and literally she found these dogs good homes. Because like my mama, when she had puppies, like her dogs had puppies, she would interview people, and if she didn't like you or feel unsure you weren't getting her dogs, she'd tell you, I'm sorry, you're not the right fit for my dogs. You just
Right.
like my mama did not care. Like she would interview you. She had questions and all this kind of stuff. Like one of my favorite stories about my mama was this guy was a breeder, you know, and he was breeding my mom's dog with his male dog. And my mama wasn't a breeder, so she didn't talk. We were talking. The guy's like, so what's the name of the bitch? And my mama said, excuse me. And he said, the bitch's name. My mama said, my dog ain't no bitch, first of all. Second of all, her name is Ming Su. He said, no, man. He said, yes, ma'am. She's a female dog. She's a bitch. My mama said, no, she's a dog. If you call my dog a bitch one more time, I'm going to knock the hell out of you. And my daddy was like, Brenda, that's what a female dog is called. She's like, not in my house. No, they're not. You ain't calling no dog no bitch. So she would let the guy breed his dog wares because he called her dog a bitch. She was like,
well, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I mean,
you called my dog a bitch. No. He said,
she saved a lot of dogs.
Huh?
You know, she saved a lot of dogs.
My mama was, yeah, she did. My mama and I, let me tell you, my mom and I did. There was this thing at the pound a couple right before my mama died, about 2 years before she died. And they did this big thing where they were killing a bunch of dogs that week. You know, like they only had a day left to find home. So me and my mama went up to the pound and we stayed there all day. And we got on Facebook and called it until we got all those dogs adopted.
Oh, wow.
They wouldn't kill them. I tell you, my mama said, she probably said, I'd say 30 to 40 dogs lives, if not more, when she worked at the pound in her little time she worked there. She said she couldn't kill them. She said she couldn't do it. That her job would pertain to having to go in there while they kill them. And not just do they kill them, let me tell you what they do. They kill them and then they throw their bodies in the landfill.
In the what?
County landfill.
Oh, no, don't tell me that.
Yeah, they put them in a freezer. My mama put them in a freezer for a week, and at the end of the week, they take all the bodies and they put them in the county landfill, and they throw them in landfill.
Oh, my God, that's so inhumane to me.
Shelters, because those poor babies had no stand a chance. So they dogs sometimes, and the lady would say, like puppies, they actually had a sign up because there was like when I got Gypsy Rose Lee, at Parvo, there was a sign and they said, if you bring a puppy in here, we've had Parvo outbreak, it will be put to sleep immediately. So my mama said there would be like dogs would come in and they'd say, just kill it. We don't have to.
Oh my God.
Never make the adoption part. Like they would just kill it. Yeah.
And that is so sad. The thought of somebody doing that just makes me want to be sick.
Tell me that it was that they were in a freezer in the landfill. That was what was so bad. They were put in a landfill. They wouldn't even respect. And the lady would tell one time the lady was like, oh no, we bury them. I said, ma'am, you do not. I told the lady, she got so mad at me, the lady at the pound. She told me never say this again at the pound in front of people. I was in there one time and I said something. And she said, no, we bury them out back under the tree. I said, no, man, you don't. I said, my mama used to work here. You guys killed them and you put them in the county landfill. I know that to be true.
Oh my God.
And I was
if most people knew that, you know, they wouldn't, I don't think people would do a lot. Okay, I can understand, you know, the thing I don't get is these people, I understand if you're moving and everything, but to just, I have seen where people have left their dogs in the house, just moved and left their dogs in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, just leave them there in the street, throw them around. How do you do that? Why don't you try to find them a good home instead of just leaving them?
How the hell do you live with yourself like that? You know, how? Like, there was this thing, like, there's a show called Dog Police that comes on television. I used to watch it, but I had to stop watching because I would literally have like an emotional breakdown during the show. There was one dog, and this is in like Arizona. So you know how hot Arizona is. I mean, imagine how hot it is here, or imagine Arizona. And these people they found this dog, y'all, and the dog was chained up, and it was by this time it had wrapped itself so tight it could not even move. The dog was so dehydrated It was almost dead. Luckily, the cops jumped the fence and got to it. The people had went on vacation. Listen, they were going to be gone for 2 weeks. Their one neighbor said they'd watch the dog for a week and they'd feed it and give it water. But after that week, they were going on vacation, so they didn't know who else was going to watch it. So they left and left the dog.
Oh, no.
And the dog had no water. Luckily, the dog lived. Now, the dog did manage to live, but they had to like barely, like the dog was on death's door. Like it was so dehydrated, it had like emancipated. Its skin was all sucked in and stuff. And they luckily saved the dog. And then the people wanted their dog back.
Hell no.
And so they pressed charges against the people and the neighbors. They were like, your job is, the neighbors were like, we don't understand what we did wrong. They're like, if you were told to watch this dog for a week, then
right,
find somebody to watch this dog, other people. Because the neighbors felt like it wasn't their fault. They were like, well, we only said watch it, and that's what we did. Guys, I got that, but you should have made sure this dog is provided. This is a dog. I can't stand chained up dogs. I can't stand it. Like, my friend, she'll get online and she'll write on one of my actress friends on her Facebook. She'll say, cold outside. Just know, imagine that your fur babies and stuff outside that are cold. Like, I'm telling you right now, Waffles and my dogs, if it's hot, they're going to be in the house where it's air conditioned. If it's cold, they're going to be in the house. I'm not letting them stay outside where it's cold, where it's hot. I'm not doing that. I don't give a shit.
One of those pit bulls that attacked the kittens, that killed my kittens, they are chained to a tree. And
they're mean.
And the thing about it is, there's nothing that I can have done about it because they have food and they have water.
Well, here in South Carolina, they just passed a leash law. Like they can't leash law. But if they're outdoors, they have to have adequate shelter and they have to have food and water at all times. They have to have food and water at all times. And they have to have a shady, adequate, like a doghouse or something like that.
Right. Well, my neighbor used to not even have a doghouse for their dog. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Before they moved, we were, no lie, my husband, before he lost his job, he was fine. Well, he's got his job back, so I'm going to make that very clear. He would go and buy a big 50-pound bag of dog food because this was a part lab dog, and you could see his ribs during the winter. And during the winter you need to feed these dogs more because it's what helps keeps them warm. They have to have that extra body weight. Well, my husband was going over there, and she just got so used to it that she just didn't even feed him. And I'm going to tell you something. When she did feed him, you know what he got? She had 4 kids and herself and her man. She would give him the leftover scraps, bones, chicken bones, and stuff like this crap they shouldn't eat, and beans or pig, whatever. He would get a little bitty bowl full, not enough to, you know what I'm saying? And we felt so bad. My husband, after they would, get in the house and be in the house for the night, he would go over there and he would feed that dog a big old bowl full. We had a leftover ham, and it had been in the refrigerator a couple of days. And I said, "Are we going to eat this?" He said, "No, I'm going to take it out there and give it to give it to the dog." And he did. And that dog he loved us, and he fattened up. And we made kind of remarks like he needs a house. You kind of have to throw it out there to some people. And what they did was got him a house and he run out of water, and they never spent 5 minutes playing with this dog. And he'd get so excited when they'd come out, but they wouldn't play with him.
What kind of life is that? Like, why would you have a dog that you don't love and play with? Because that's the greatest, most unconditional love on this earth. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, my mama said Charlie, my little dog Charlie, when he was a baby, my mama used to say she had never seen a dog look at a person with so much love as Charlie does. To this day, even Waffles, if you watch Waffles online, when I have her, you will see her. You can see the love that Waffles has for me in her eyes, like just loving me and how much love. Like I can let me tell you something. Baby Waffles, his mama, Kevin's going to have a problem with this because we've already talked about it. This is how baby sleeps. I don't know if I ever told you this. When I lay on my back, my chest, baby gets right beside me, sticks one paw underneath me and the other one around me as tight as she can and hugs me and lays next to me, hugging me, like cuddling with me.
Yeah.
She cuddles me so tight. And then She sleeps like that. And then if she moves, like changes position and rolls over, she will place her paw in my hand and hold my hand all night. Like she's my cuddle buddy. Like you don't move her from cuddling with me. Waffles tried to do it one night and she literally like pushed Waffles out the way. Like, you don't cuddle with daddy. That's my thing. She is that way. Like that's how she sleeps on. I'm like, I can't imagine and I could just feel the love, like when she's hugging me at night, like just her. It's almost like she's hugging me. I can feel the love that this dog has in her heart. Like she's like, oh, daddy, I'm so tired. I'm just glad to be chilling and resting. Not like they have a rough life, Bye, sweetie. Bye, Julie. We love you. But just like seeing the love that they have for us. Your dogs, as much as we love them. Those dogs love you. Rocky loves you. There's nothing like you waking up every morning seeing that little kitty just look up at you, meow, like your heart just melts.
It does every morning. But I don't understand what does your man think about that? What does he say
about her cuddling me?
He's
like, me and her going to have a talk. He's going to have to teach her a different place to sleep because his dog sleeps with him too. So he's like, he's got a big old king size bed. He's like, well, I got a big old bed. He's like, they can sleep next because his dog cuddles with him too. He ain't fooling nobody. And she said, he said that they'll have to learn to have their side and we'll have our side, But he's like, that ain't gonna happen with him. But I'm like, I don't know. She's been doing this since, and I think it comes from because I saved her in a really traumatic situation when she was thrown out of that car and everything. Right. Like, I think the baby is so attached to me, like. It's crazy. Like what you were saying about your husband, Gabe, I can go to Dollar General right now. Gabe can let them go outside. They'll pee, they'll poop, whatever. I'm gone maybe 15 minutes. I come back and they got to go outside again.
Yep.
They got to pee. They don't care if they just went out and they all going to go outside. Every one of them. It's like Gabe's like, damn, I just let him out. Like he's like, I know you think I never let your dogs out, but I really do. But it's just like they're trained that way. And they will not show out for Gabe. When Gabe is here, they're so good. They don't act up. They don't act bad. When I hear, child, they act so bad. Gabe's like, they don't act like this when I'm here. Like, I don't know if they just don't trust him or what it is, but like they're scared of it maybe because he's really good with my dogs. Like, I don't expect anyone to take care of my dogs, but Gabe does and Joe does. Our other roommate, like, if we go out of town tomorrow and Gabe decides to spend the night, Joe will feed them and make sure that, none of us are ever going to make sure they don't have food or water, like, or take care of them. Like, Gabe's not a dog person. And he's really heartbroken over Big Mama because he did love him some Big Mama. But see, she knew he didn't like her.
Oh.
I wish I could have videotaped the love that those two had because she knew Gabe didn't like dogs. So she started laying beside him and she'd put a paw on his arm and he'd move it. She'd move it over. And then she'd go in. So she's a big girl. She'd go and lay on his feet and not get up. And he'd try to kick her. And then they started just this playful little banter back and forth where he'd try to tickle her and she'd move until they just became like so inseparable. Like when I would tell her like Gabe's coming home, she'd wait by the door for him to come home. And like that day, she had her first seizure when she fell over. And I said, Gabe's going to be here. She went and waited for Gabe. She went and laid where he was. And like, she went, and that day that she died, like she was here with Gabe. And, when he brought that shovel in, she got up like, what's wrong? And like, he loved her. So I think that none of my dogs he'll ever be as attached to as he was to Big Mama. He just really loved me. He won't tell you that. Gabe's like, she all right, but he misses Big Mama. He does. They just had a really unique love and friendship for each other. She made him love her. Big Mama made Gabe like her. She adored him. Like she looked at Gabe. She would wait for Gabe. She would wait for love with Gabe. Like, she just to piss. But they would do things like to irritate each other. Like when he would leave, she'd go jump up in his chair and wait on him. And he'd say, why are you in my chair? And she'd look at him and wag her tail and bark at him. He's like, girl, get out of my chair. And she'd get back on the chair and then she'd go lay on his feet. He's like, get off my feet. And she'd just laugh. Like it was like this thing they had done. It was like this purpose, like two kids that would pick on each other constantly. It was kind of funny. And the relationship we developed with our pets are unreal, like I can't imagine my life without Waffles in it. Like I've watched her be born. She, I remember the day that baby had her puppies and it's funny. I remember she was pregnant, remember? And I was going to work and I was like, baby, get out of my room. Come on, let's go outside. I got to go. And she wouldn't go. And I remember like, baby, and she literally rolled one of the puppies. It was a black one. So I want to say it's probably Waffles. Probably was. And looked at me and looked down at the puppy like, Daddy, I'm having a baby. I can't. I can't go out. And I said, oh, shoot. And I was right in the middle of my floor. So I picked up the puppy and I sat it and I got her box and I put her, because I had gotten her a baby bed and a box. And so I put her in a box first. I hadn't got the baby bed yet. I didn't think she was going to have him for another couple of days. And I put her in her bed. You know, it was like she had the baby. When I got home, Joe just sent me a text that she's had 7 or 6, right? I think she had 6. And I was like, okay. And so, I mean, I've seen Waffle since she came in the world. Like, she's been mine, you know? And then when I had to keep her, I just can't imagine, as mean as that little dog is, as crazy as little Waffles is, I can't imagine my life without Waffles or without Baby Lou.
Well, you know, I was going to tell Kitty, the thing about it is, Kitty, this is the way I look at it. If you're going to get a dog and it's going to be a big dog, you need to have a yard that dog can go in, run around, that you don't have to, you know, chain that dog up. That's just, to me, it's just inhumane. And if you're going to have little, even, okay, you can have big dogs in your house. Bradley has them. I mean, you do not have to chain these dogs up. It is just not, it's inhumane to me.
I just don't understand it. Like, why would you get a dog you don't even show any attention to? That's part of, dogs are man's best friend. They say that, like a cat and a dog are what people have as pets. Why would you get a pet that you're not even going to love or take care of?
I know.
Why would you just get a dog and chain it outside and never show that dog? And I want to say, I saw one of these cop shows on that show. I saw about that pet dogs. This little black guy, he was a cop on there. This man, he told this man, he said, how the hell would you feel if I left you chained outside in the freezing cold and nobody showed you any love or any affection or nothing and just left you chained there for a month? How the hell would you feel? The guy said, awful. He said, well, how the hell do you think this dog feels? He said, it's just a dog. The man said, no, it's not. It's a dog. He said, this dog has feelings. You've left this dog out here in the cold, freezing, stuff.
Oh, it's horrible. And the weather, the elements are awful.
Yeah, it is. And some dogs want to be outside. Like my cat, he wants to be outside now. We don't know why. We think it's because Waffles has hurt him, has pulled his hair out and stuff. But my cat is not, he's declawed. So I'm scared of him being outside.
Oh.
Like now, he's perfectly content. Like he'll lay on the porch. I mean, I leave water out there for him and I leave food. He comes in at night and he eats in the evening. He'll usually sleep here. But first thing in the morning when Gabe's going to work, he's hollering to go outside. He wants to be outside. So Gabe told me, so he said, stop forcing him to be in the house, Bradley. He doesn't want to be in the house. He wants to be outside. But he just walks around the yard and just kind of chills. He don't really bother anybody. He goes under the house when it gets too hot. It's like that's where he wants to be since his mama died. He just wants to be outside. And I can't stop him.
I hope another cat doesn't ever want to fight him.
I know, that's what we're scared of. I'm scared of, like, he's been fixed too, or like another dog attack him or something. But he don't really leave his yard much. Like, he doesn't walk past our yard. He's either in the backyard, the front yard, or he'll go a little bit in the woods. But he doesn't go far, like where I think he would get hurt. But if another dog or cat came in the yard, they might fight him and he would get hurt. And then that was my feelings, because we raised Devo to be an indoor cat, but we think it's because of Waffles, because she holds him down. Like, I had to whoop her the other night and put her in her cage because I brought him in because he was all loving. I brought him in, and he was eating his food, and he got down and he was stretching, and she literally jumped on him and she had him by the ears and she was pulling the hair out of his ears.
That's mean.
He was, oh my God, he was screaming. And Baby was doing it too. And then the pit bull does it. They all and the pit bull had him by his tail and they were pulling him, like trying to pull him apart. And I screamed, I took a flip flop and popped off of him with their butt. And the other two left him alone. So he was sitting there chilling on the back of the couch. Waffles jumps up there and she literally jumped up over me, grabbed him by his ear and flung him down on the ground, on the floor. So I think that's why he don't want to be in the house. She's trying to play with him, I think, but she won't play back. And I was like, dang, I wish she had claws. Because if he had claws, he'd have clawed her one good time and she'd have left him alone. But see, the pit bull is scared of cats, because when she was a baby, they had a cat in their apartment and the cat swatted and knocked her eye and gave her a really bad eye infection. So she goes after him because she's terrified of cats. So as long as he's not near her, she's okay. But if she sees him, like if he walks by her, it triggers something in her and she'll chase him down. Like, she won't hurt him, but she'll try. Like, she'll bark at him mostly. But she got really bad, like had to go to the doctor by this cat. And wasn't just once, it was 3 times this cat attacked her when she was a puppy. Like she was a little tiny baby. So I think that that's part of her problem. But Waffles is just plain old meanness and spite. Like,
I think she'll outgrow. Well, maybe she will.
Waffles were this is Waffles we're speaking of. This dog is not gonna do anything. She's a mean ass. But I'm like, Waffles, stop. So I had to lock her in her cage because I was mad at her. So I'm like, go get in your cage. And I made her sleep in there overnight. And I've never done that before, but I made her sleep in there overnight because I was so mad at her about hurting that baby. You know?
Do you think she got it?
No. She's Waffles. Now Kevin was telling me something Kevin wants to try with her when I moved down there is he said she needs 2 separate spots. Like her cage now is like when I get ready to go, like if I got my stuff and started going to the door, she will go ahead and get in her cage. We barely have to tell her anymore. But she also uses her cage as a bed to sleep in during the daytime. So she doesn't see that as a now. If she gets in trouble and I holler, Waffles, Alyssa, Edwards, Trixie, Mattel, Strands, Dela, Crib, Del Rio, she'll run and get in her cage and just hide in the back like I can't see her, like, oh, daddy can't find me. But it's like she needs a separate crate that you punish her in. So she knows that she's being punished because the other one is her reward. He said the other one where she sleeps, that's her reward. That's her safe place. That's where she's happy. Put her in her cage. She's got her blanket. She's got her toys. That's her app. She's happy. He's like, she needs one that is her punishment one. So when she's put in there, she knows that she's being punished. Because right now she doesn't know the difference. He's like,
that's true. That's true.
That'd be like locking you and I in a room with our computers, okay, well, we're fine. That's fine. We'll just get on our computers and chill, watch YouTube all day. He's like, that's the same example. She's like, okay, I got my toys in here. I'm good. Lock the door. I'm good. I'll go to bed. I'll take a nap. Daddy will be home later. He'll let me out.
Right.
But she gets so comfortable in there that she will not make noise sometimes. Like Gabe said the other night, I was kind of mad at Gabe at first because I locked her up early morning. She was still in her cage late at night when I got in rehearsal. And Gabe said, said she hasn't made a peep. I didn't even know she was gone, like missing. She made noise until I came in the room. Then she started, howling. So when Gabe says she won't make noise, so he'll forget that she's in the cage.
Oh, wow.
So I told him this. I said, now, Gabe, I love you. You're my brother, but please don't do that to her over the weekend while I'm gone. Don't, please make sure you get her out of that cage because I don't like to cage any animal. I don't like caging them anyway. That's just me. I don't mind. I want them to run free of my house and stuff. But for her, it's the best in her interest right now to walk cage her. But I'm the kind of person that when I'm at work, like I cage her in the morning, Joe lets her out before he goes to work at 9 o'clock or whatever. She goes to the bathroom, she gets to stretch, she goes back in there until I get home. So that way she's only in there for a few hours. I don't like to leave her in there all day or all night. Like, I just don't. Like, I have a real problem leaving Waffles in a cage all night long. Like, I just can't do it. It bothers my heart. Like, I got a water bottle like a hamster. She has that.
Right. Well, baby girl, she likes to sleep in her cage, but the door's open. Like she goes in and out. Now, at night, I do lock her in it, reason being, if she can't, she will pee in the floor from just to be doing it. Like she don't want to hold it. She'll pee in the floor, but she won't pee in her crate. So if you leave her out, that's what she does. Now, Peachy, she's not going to pee in the floor. She's not going to pee nowhere. If she ever has an accident, it's because she could not. I mean, there has to be something wrong, like for her to have an accident. But she rarely has had an accident. But baby girl I don't know if she does it because we won't let her lay in the bed anymore because it was letting them lay in the bed, they shed. But there was a fight over who was going to lay next to my husband. Wow. You know what I mean? They fought. It was like they bited each other and growled at each other. And it was like half the night we're hearing barking and scratching. And it got really bad. Just jealousy.
Wow. And it is. And Waffles is very just like I had to go to Waffles the other day because baby, her mom is very loving and she's very close to me, very much so. And so baby has her time with me, and the other night, baby was sitting here and Waffles, it was during I was on the computer, baby, her eyes loved her. Waffles grabbed her by her hoo-hoo and yanked her down. That dog was screaming in pain. Waffles grabbed her by her legs and was pulling her legs like as hard as she could.
Grabbed her mock.
Yeah, her mama, she grabbed her hoo-hoo or you, and she literally was pulling on, and the dog screamed. Like, I was like, oh my God, what? Because I thought she was hurt. And Wobbles was being mean. And then she started pulling on her legs, on her tail, trying to get her to get out of my lap. Like, that's my daddy. And oh my God. And I looked at baby and I said, baby was hurting so bad. I said, baby, that's your child. Whoop her butt. Go whoop her butt. So baby got down, and when she got down, Waffles was, and boy, baby tore her up. Baby started fighting with her. Not like fight, but baby let it be known. Baby literally took Waffles. I'll never forget this. And she did it one other time when Waffles was little. She took her hand on Waffles, took her other paw, and popped Waffles on her head as hard as she could. She held Waffles down and popped her on her head. I laughed so hard. She was like, she literally beat Waffle a little behind. I was like, your mama just tore your behind up, little girl, for being so bad.
That's what my mama kitty did. My mama kitty would pop her kittens on their butt, literally pop them on the butt.
Really? I've seen them up and shake them. I've seen them pick them up and shake them before. Baby used to do that. So did my mom's picking these. When they'd be bad, she'd pick them up and shake them. But I've never seen them pop them until baby. But baby popped Waffles twice. That's the twice time she's done that to her. She just literally popped her on her butt like, little biatch. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you popped me on my behind. And she holds her down with one paw. And then she just pops her on the butt. Bam. She whoops her behind. And I just started laughing. I'm like, Lord, she tearing that dog up. Like, as she was, but I mean, she bit her right on her coochie.
That's terrible.
Like, Waffles is mean. And I'm like, Waffles, how would you feel if someone did that to you?
Well, she probably gets that one day. That's just like the kittens when they brought the kittens back this morning, and they've been spayed. They have never been so loving. They have never been so loving to me. Used to, I could barely pet them, and now they were like walking all around me, wanting me to pet them, rolling, on their backs, and I'm like, well, damn, you should have been spayed a long time ago.
What'd I do? Yeah, what'd I do? Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's crazy. You laugh about it, but I've never thought cats were that friendly of a creature. Like, I've never found cats. I'm more of a dog guy because I am that person that likes that cuddling with my dog. Like, I like when baby cuddles with me at night. Like, it's going to be hard this weekend to hold Kevin. I joked with him last night on the phone because he'll be here tomorrow. I joked with him that I won't have to pretend like he's baby because I'm so used to cuddling with baby. I'm not going to be able to cuddle with him because he's bigger, So it's like Kevin's bigger than her. I'm like, I'm going to have to, like, I'm not used to cuddling with a human. I've got to cuddle with my girl, So he's like, we'll have to figure it out. I'm like, you're going to have to hold me just like baby, I guess, because, like, she is so funny, like, just how loving she is. And it's just crazy. And it's like, I couldn't imagine then, like, I don't know, back to the abuse thing. Like, I watch these animal rescues and these people that just hurt these dogs, children too. I mean, children especially, or dogs. But I'm like you, if somebody says to me, it's just a dog or it's a cat, I want to punch them in their face because it's they can't speak. But I'm going to tell you something. I know some dogs that are smarter than some damn humans, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I know some dogs that are smarter than there's been dogs that have saved people's lives.
Well, yeah.
Dogs that have done like miraculous things. There was this story online I watched. It was called Angels Among Us or whatever. And there was this family.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and there was this dog, and they found this stray dog. And they named him Lucky because he was really in bad shape when they got him. He was really sick, and they spent a lot of money. And so they kept him, and they called him Lucky. Well, they were going out of town, like all these states away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they left Lucky at a kennel, and it was the first time he was ever separated. And so they were driving their van, and they were going on vacation. And the little girl said, Mama, Lucky's outside. And they're on the interstate. They kept seeing this little dog, like, jumping up on the side of the car. And the lady was like, oh my God. So she said, pull off. So they pulled off, and the husband saw, and the wife saw the dog running into the woods. So they chased this dog. Well, they couldn't find it. So they got on the phone and they called. The husband said, let me call and see. And they said, no, he's right here. What are you talking about? It's not Lucky. He's right here. We're looking at him.
Oh my God.
While they were chasing this dog, right where they would have been was a 7-car pileup, and they would have been killed. Everybody in the wreck was killed. Yes, girl. And the dog was in the kennel, still in the 3 states over, girl.
That was a ghost dog.
Yeah, it was an angel dog. And they believe it, like a ghost. And let me tell you something. My parents had dogs. This is crazy story too. This is crazy. My little brother came to our house, and my mama saw this dog on our porch. His name was Lucky too. black little dog. My mama said, "Who is this dog?" He wouldn't leave. He was about a year old. So mama fed him, and everything. He would not ever come in the house. But my little brother, he would walk him to school every day, walk my sister to school, and he would walk on the side of the road. And if a car came, he would push them over. Well, one day, my sister was outside, and these two guys like pulled up, and they were trying to grab my little sister through the car. He cut. My sister to this day will tell you she does not know where this dog came from, but he leaped over her into the car and like all of us got until the guy let go of my sister.
Oh my God.
Drove away, and he walked my sister over. He loved these children. He would not come to us. He would spend winter after winter outside. My parents would not. He would not come to us. He would walk to the bus stop with my brothers and sisters, wait in the cold for the bus to come and walk them home every day. This dog was just crazy. So my mama believes that this dog was their guardian angel. Well, we used to tell Greg that when Greg got older and didn't need Lucky anymore, Lucky was going to disappear. Well, Lucky finally started coming in Mama's house. It was a bad storm one night, really, really bad, and they were calling to bring iPads in. So we literally had to go outside, 4 of us, and to grab Lucky and bring him into the house because he wouldn't come in the house, and he freaked out. So Mama finally made this couch. It was an old couch, and she put plates on. And so that's where Lucky got comfortable. So at night when it was cold, Lucky would wait in there. Well, y'all know when my brother got older, one day, Lucky just disappeared.
Oh.
It's like he came to us. We've never seen him since. We don't know what happened to him. My mama swore to the day he died that Lucky was a protector of those children. He was just some kind of guardian angel that my brother will tell you to this day that was his guardian angel that looked after him. That dog just appeared like we don't know where he came from. He was just on the porch one day when they went outside. There he was, just a little dog. Like, hey, I'm here. Then nothing, no identity. He was not starving or anything, but he was just there. And he would bring dogs like people like my friends next door to us. They had this pit bull that they loved, and this dog apparently had been abused, and Lucky went and rescued the puppy and brought it to these people, and now they adopted it. Like Lucky was a really special dog, but and everyone in our neighborhood loved Lucky. Like he would go outside every morning and he would go like down the street to my neighbors and they gave him a sausage, and he'd go over here and down the street and he just collected, and everybody knew him, and he just one day and he was really, really old, down the street. Now I think the cop down the street took and put him to sleep because he was so old he could barely walk and everything. But they knew he belonged to my brother, but he just disappeared. It was like, but Lucky, as soon as my brother didn't need him anymore, like he got right. He graduated high school. Lucky started getting sick. Lucky started to barely walk. Like it was like Lucky was feeling like, And when I saw the movie A Dog's Purpose, I understood that. If you've never seen that movie, watch it because it explains so much about that. Because like Lucky, you could see it. Greg would walk past and, hey boy, and you could just see that Lucky was like, okay, he don't need me. So Lucky went down the street of his life before he disappeared from our house, was staying down the street with this little boy and taking care of walking us away. And we could barely walk, y'all. It was sad. It would take him forever to get home. He'd walk the boy to us. It would take him half the day to get home. And he was so old. And one day he just vanished. Like everybody in the neighborhood has been going around asking, have we seen Lucky? And everybody's like, no, I haven't seen Lucky. I don't know where Lucky is. And because our neighbor was going to take him and put him to sleep, and the cop swears that he didn't do it. But the cop next door to my house and everything, my cousins, all they were talking about taking Lucky one day and putting him to sleep because he was so old. And the next day he was gone, and none of us have seen him ever. Like we don't know what happened to him. He just vanished. But I believe that. I do believe the things that he did. Like one night, my friend Jamie, that you hear Shannon and I call Lisa. We was out here in our yard. And that dog, this little coyote-like dog came out in my yard, me and Jamie, and we was scared to death. I think Jamie had been so scared. Right. We out in that yard, I was so scared. That dog, all of a sudden, we look up, and Lucky's just as calm as he can, walking over, stops right in front of me and Jamie. Jamie's like, where the hell did that dog come from? Where the hell Lucky come from? Lucky stared the dog down, and literally the dog left. Like the coyote turned and ran away and went back to the thing. It was like so crazy. It was like, wow. It was like, didn't know what else to do. Like how and then he just walked away. Like my mama would get in her car to drive over here, and Lucky on her. By the time she pulled up, Lucky was over on my porch waiting on her.
Wow.
I used to swear to God, yeah, you'll love that movie, Jackie, but you will cry. That movie takes your heart into places because you see a dog's purpose in life is to love their master unconditionally. That is a dog's purpose. That is what a dog lives for on this earth. If you've
That's
not,
one of That's one of Addie's favorite movies.
have you seen it?
I haven't, but Addie has.
Oh, girl, you will cry because now the book is much better, and
Yeah.
the book actually has a different ending, and they refuse to do the ending, and I won't tell it because Jacqueline hasn't seen it. But in the book, it's much more tragic what happens. But the dog just it's such a good feel good movie, but it just makes you know like it makes you love your dog even more. Like you're like wow,
I'm
you
gonna
know.
have to watch it
Oh
because my
gosh, you'll
husband.
blubber. You'll blubber like you will blubber your heart out in the lives and like just what our dogs go through for us and what they think in their life for us. And when you read the book, you realize that that is a dog's purpose in life is to live in our homes and love us unconditionally. So when you see a dog chained outside, and one of the dog goes through many lives in the book. And one of the lives the dog does go through. And it's funny because the dog's name in the book is actually Waffles when he's in that state. It's a dog that's chained outside through all weather, and it's
Um,
that life, and his name is Waffles during that time. I think it's so funny. But uh,
Jackie is. Are you talking about the movie, The Midwife, or the series,
I've never,
Calling the Midwife?
never
Because
heard.
there was a movie called Midwife, but it had subtitle. It had the subtitle thing, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't go there. I
Yeah,
hate reading subtitles and watching a movie.
now Gabe will tell you this, and so do I. Oh, the show on Netflix. She said, Debbie, I have to watch all my stuff in captions. I'm almost deaf in one ear. I'm actually deaf in one ear, 98% deaf. And so, because when I was a little boy, I would hold my stereo speakers on either side of my ears and sing as loud as I could. And my TV. If you come to my house right now, my TV's on like 98 when I'm watching television, and I
One
have to
time,
watch.
my husband is hard of hearing.
Huh?
My husband has a hearing problem because he's worked in construction so long. He's used so many, drills and electric, the hammers and everything. He's had hearing loss.
I'm about to go to a hearing doctor because I have to have the captions on television and I have to have the captions on a movie. Like any movie I watch, I have to have a caption. And when I go to the movie theater, I have to sit by the speaker so I can hear it. And like Kevin has a really deep voice like mine. You guys won't see him, but if we do a live stream, you might hear. But Kevin's voice is very, very deep like mine. So sometimes Kevin will be on the phone, he'll be talking, and he's kind of he'll almost like he's mumbling, but I'm like, huh? And I know he thinks I say huh like every 5 minutes, but it's because I can't hear him because he's got a very low voice. And it's like doing this play. There's parts of this play that when the other people are singing and the music, I can't hear the cue lines. So I'm thinking, oh my God, my hearing's getting really bad. Like I can't hear like I used to. I just can't. And even in my car, I turn my music up full blast. It's like, so the other day, like you can pull into my yard. No lie, Debbie, and I hate this is awful to say. My roommate Gabe can tell what I'm watching on TV when he pulls up for you, even though it's because I have the TV so loud in order to hear it.
Oh wow!
I can't hear it. I just can't hear it. And I'll read the captions too. But it's like I have to have it on captions. In every movie I've ever watched, I watch in captions. So I don't necessarily say I read them, but I have them on. Like, so foreign films like that don't bother me, but they do bother me because I'm like you. Like, if they're talking another language, I got to read it and I can't focus on the movie because I got to be reading so much. Where with captions, I could just be like, oh, I can't understand this actress. Like some movies, you can't understand that person. Like in Brokeback Mountain, have you seen that movie? Heath
Yeah.
Ledger. Well, the
Yes.
accent that he used, he had a deeper voice. It was hard to hear him and understand him. So I had to watch it. I had to read it. On his dialogue in there. So certain characters I'll have to read, but I'm still able to focus on the box. On the movie at heart. But it can be crazy. It can be definitely a different. It can be definitely a whole another lifetime out there with worlds of people. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here because I've kept Debbie on here most of the day. Debbie, thank you for being my guest today. I loved it. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys check out Debbie's chat tonight. She had a really good topic last night. I didn't get to come by, Debbie, because I was in rehearsal, but I saw
We didn't go live last night. Remember?
the night before. What was the night before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
I was going
I
to
didn't go
tell
live last night. What happened?
I didn't feel good. Well, actually, my fibromyalgia was hurt. I just didn't feel good. I was hurting all over, and
Are you going live tonight?
yes, we'll be live tonight. I mean, I'm still hurting, but I mean, I have to live with it. But it was just really bad yesterday. I was under some stress yesterday, and when I get stressful, it makes it worse. And
Was it
you know,
about forgiveness or something? Your chat?
yeah, it was just saying, basically, it was wanting to know, we were talking about, do you forgive someone for yourself, or do you forgive, like for people. I have people I haven't forgive for things they've done to me, being my, molester. Um, but I forgave my rapist, and there's reasons why. But I don't know that I've forgiven him. I will never forget. But I was just asking people, what is your opinion? I mean, do you forgive because do you forgive for yourself because it's going to make you feel better, or do you forgive for a people because it's going to make, what I'm saying? It's a fine line between why people forgive and why they don't.
I do, and let me explain something that's really kind of interesting that you say that, because I really believe, like my molester today, actually, and I was going to call you about this, but I'll go ahead and share it. As I told you, I confronted mine, and I do want to talk about mine and everything. But anyway, they wrote me a letter today on Facebook, and it was like, "Hey, are you still teaching at such and such?" Because I used to teach their grandson.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, yes. And they said, oh, well, he's not going to be next year, whatever. And all I'm thinking is this little boy is severely handicapped. And if you put your hands on this child, I will be in prison because I will be orange is the new black on your ass. And then he's like, yeah, I heard you're in a play. I can't wait. I'm going to try to come see it. It's so good to see you. I just want you to know I love you. I miss you. I want you to come over for dinner.
Oh,
Like nothing happened. And I'm like, I was raised to forgive people. And I'm going to say this, I haven't shared my molestation story with a lot of people, as we talked about. But like in my situation versus yours or whatever, and I've told you this, Debbie, because as you guys know, I tell Debbie everything. There's nothing I don't hide from Debbie, because if I try to, she finds out anyway. This woman can find out anything, y'all. She's like Columbo, I swear to God. But anyway, like when I told my mom and we told my grandmother got up, whipped him with a belt, and said, okay, it's taken care of. We will never speak of it again. And it was never spoke again in my family. Talk about it. And my dad, I told you this, my dad, 2 years ago, the year my mama died, my uncle tried to rip my dad off with some property that my dad owned with my mom. My mom and my uncle owned it together. And my uncle was trying to steal my dad's portion of the money. And my dad looked right in his face and he said, I know what you did to my son. Don't you think I don't? He said, I don't like you and none of my children like you. But the only reason I'm good to you, that I will be friendly to you and be nice to you, is because you are my wife's brother. He said, you'll still have an invitation here every holiday, but none of us want you here. So if you want to come sit in a room with a bunch of people that can't stand you for a holiday, then that's your business, not mine. So I went home and I was so angry. I confronted him right there on Facebook. I wrote him a long letter about how this had caused me so much problem in my life, sexually, relationships. I've had to have a very long talk with Kevin already about certain things that I have, Debbie, triggers that I have and stuff like that. So
right.
that happened this weekend. Kevin knows how to deal with it, because I didn't want to be out with this man this weekend and have this happen. So I had to go into really in depth with Kev about what happened. And Kevin said to me, he said, baby, he said, will this person be there at the holidays? And I said, probably. And Kevin said, baby, I don't know if I can sit in the same room with him. I don't know if I can. He's like, I may have to leave. He's like, because it'll be all I can do not to kill him. He's like, I can't do that. He said, I just can't do it. He said, especially if he tries to be all nicey nice with you.
Yeah.
He said, Kevin said, I'm not that kind of person. He said, you can't hurt someone that I love with all my heart. Kevin was like, no. And he goes, if nothing else, I'm picking you up and we're leaving. We're leaving the situation. But this is caused about, so this guy, I told him about it, what happened, how I felt, my molester. And he said, okay, well, okay. And 2 days later, I got an email on Facebook and he said, I just want you to know I prayed about it and God forgave me. And you were raised by your mama and your grandmother to forgive too. So you need to forgive me and move on past it, because I am. And God's okay with me. So you need to be okay with me too.
I just said, well, you go on and you keep thinking that because he probably has forgiven you, but you still a dirty, dirty dog. And, do it once, do it. I don't believe that things happen when you molest a child. That's not a one time occurrence to me. I'm sorry. You can't convince me that somebody did that one time.
This man molested me from the time I was 6 years old till I was 16. And the only reason I allowed it to happen until I was 16 years old was because he kept telling me, if you stop, I'm gonna go to your brother.
Well, yeah, they threaten you. I mean, it's the same. They always hold it up. I mean, mine held it over my head due to it was a family member, and it was and I fell for it. But then, there, when you get to be 12, 13 years old, you're like, nope, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore.
So
I'm
I wanna go on your channel and share my story whenever you're ready to have me on there.
whenever you want to come on, it's fine.
I'm ready to talk about it now. But I mean, I just thought the audacity of someone to act like it didn't happen. That made me mad. It was like that probably made me madder than anything. And then
Right.
I love you, I miss you. Come over and have dinner. No, I'm not coming to your house to have dinner.
He must be sick, like super sick.
I'm not your friend. We're not friends. I don't like you.
Exactly.
I want to come see your place so bad. You're such a great actor. I don't care if you're there or not. But he was like, and when you started the topic, I wanted to speak on it because I was like, he's like, you have to forgive me. No, I don't have to. And it is the way I was raised. I was raised to believe that you forgive that. But can you? I can forgive it. But like I told him in that letter, I said, I forgive you because that's the way I was raised. And my mama taught me that way. But I'll never forgive you. Forget it. I will never forget it till the day I die. And just the situations that I have in my everyday life, sexually, and like I'm very scared of commitment. I'm scared of closure, like closeness, like baby cuddling with me is fine. It's not gonna be fine with Kevin. It's not gonna be like Kevin already knows all the triggers. Certain things sexually I can't do or I'm freaked out about it. So I've had to let him know. I had to open up to him and say, this is could happen. And he knows, what to do. And luckily he's had some, training and he's looked into some stuff on how to handle it. And stuff, which I'm very proud of him for because he's willing. But he knows now, um,
Right. Well, I just don't believe molesters. I don't care. I don't care how old they are. What they. I don't believe they do it one time and stop. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just do not. And maybe they have. Maybe some people have. But I'm telling you, this is my opinion. Because if that was true, then why did it didn't stop with me? And I've wondered, where did it go? You know what I mean? Where did it go then? And I go through spells where I think about this, and I get very, very depressed. And I don't know if you'd call it depressed, it brings on a lot of anxiety for me.
Like, it's a freeing thing. Like when I came on and I spoke the other day about what happened to me just on Facebook. I mean, just not Facebook, here on YouTube with that person. That was freeing to me, But
Yeah.
I just feel like, sometimes, these people think that they can just do whatever they want to do. And that's not the way life is. That's just not the way it's going to be. And that's not how it's going to be. But I couldn't believe that today. Like he just wrote this letter like nothing had ever happened.
It's because he's a POS.
Like if you would have wrote me a letter and said, hey, Bradley, I heard you in a couple of days. How you doing, baby? You're my friend. You like my sister, You and I are like brother and sister. I'd be like, oh, girl, I'm fine, whatever, like that way. But he wrote it like you would write me. Or like Miss Kitty would write me and say, hey, TPG, what's up? Like, how you doing, baby? He
like nothing ever happened. Like nothing has ever happened.
Yeah, like nothing. Like I'm supposed to just write back and say, oh, it's good. And I said, and I typed in the title of the school I'm at. And he said, oh, okay, well, you doing all right? Yeah.
I just said, you must have an awful short memory. And you don't know what this man has done over the course of these years. You have no idea.
I don't. And I don't.
That's the scary part. There, you have no idea.
I was 16 years old, had gone through puberty, so I had a man's body. I had the body of a man.
Right.
Still at 16, I lost my virginity to a girl long before that. I was sleeping with women too, and it caused a lot of problems with women. Now, my mama believes to this day, that's why I'm gay.
Do you believe that?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I think you're born gay because I remember being like a little boy.
Yeah.
Trying to and thinking, ooh, I used to pray that I had a hairy chest. Hairy chested men were cute. So every night when I go to bed, I say, God, when I get really big, make sure I have hair on my chest.
Oh my goodness.
My daddy didn't like none of the guys I knew had them. I just thought guys with hairy chests, if they came on TV, I'd want to watch it over and over again. So I was really obsessed with hairy chests.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, I was like really want to. I would pray every night, and God granted my prayer. He gave me a beautiful, nice hairy chest. It doesn't get too bushy and stuff. I want it. It's very controlled. I don't have to trim it or nothing. It's just real pretty. I had to bother it, but God did answer my prayer. But it was very funny. Do I think that? No, but I do think that that's why I had a lot of sexual problems growing up. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I think that that's where I get people. I should really wait and talk more about this on your channel, but I'll talk about it again because there's only a couple people in here. Sometimes I enjoy people using me sexually.
Bradley, that's not normal.
Like Josh, the straight boy I was dating for a while,
Yeah.
I enjoyed him calling me and saying, "Hey, I need to come over and have sex with you," and leave. I didn't have a problem. It taught me to be. It made me feel like that's all I'm good for was someone coming over and having sex with me and leaving. So like with Kevin, like this weekend, Kevin is going. He's my boyfriend, so it's going to be a different romance. I mean, of course we're going to have that, but it's going to be a more romantical. We might have a crazy, wild, passionate session. Everybody does, but it's different. And so for me, that's going to be a problem because I'm not used to that. I'm
Yeah.
guys wanting me. I'm used to being there for some guy to just do what he's got to do and leave. But that's because of what I wanted to be, because that's what happened to me when I was a kid all my life. I laid there, I took what I had to take until this guy got off me or did what he did to me, and I would, leave. I would go back, turn it back over. Like I'd wake up and he'd be, having oral sex with me. When I'm 7, 8 years, 9 years old, 10 years old. You know,
It's crazy.
and so I'm waking up, and so that's all I thought. I thought, well, that's what I'm good for. So like to this day, I don't enjoy oral sex on me.
Yeah, I remember you
I
did
told you
some
that.
of
And
that.
that's why, because I don't enjoy it. Like I have never had one person, but one person please me that way to this day. Um,
Right.
because I don't get into it. I love to give it though. Now, girl, I'm the king of it. I'm the queen of it. I can do it easy. But it's a lot of stuff like that I had to tell Kevin about. Like, you know, if Kevin might get too forceful, it may freak me out a little bit. I'm like, well, Kevin got to stop, because you get carried away sometimes sexually. Like Kevin has been really good. Like since we started dating, Kevin's not been with anybody, So it's been months since Kevin's had, anything good, So he's ready. He's a 27-year-old boy. He's a man. He's not a boy. He's a man. So he's got a sex drive. So
Yeah.
he's ready. He might be wanting to do it in the restaurant for all I know, but he had to learn that that's going to be just the way it is. But I enjoyed that part. And I think that's what, you know, one of the things that this man being molested as a male put me through. But I don't think that's why I'm gay. No, I
Yeah.
don't. I don't believe that because in the opposite, actually, I think would be the opposite for me because if I didn't believe you were born that way, I think if somebody forced themselves on you physically, like if you were molested by a woman and you're a girl, you would do everything in your power not to be a damn lesbian. If you were a straight, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, I do. I was looking at where Kitty said it's creepy to try to force forgiveness, and it is. I don't want to. I don't know if this is self. Well, no, I don't think this is selfish. I My molester, I can't hardly stand to look at. She makes me literally sick to my stomach, and the thought of her makes me sick. Um, I don't want to forgive her. Um, I do not really want to forgive the person that raped me, and the reason is, and I don't like to because I don't want to write any names of this, is because I was married to this person, and I many years ago, many years ago, and back when they said, "Oh, husbands can't rape wives," yes, they can.
Yeah.
I was brutally raped with objects, and it was disgusting. And I I find myself still, hold on, Bradley. My mother is in a call. My mom's calling me, and I've got to take this call. So I've got, hold on.
Okay, just mute it, and I'll continue. One of the things, Miss Kitty, that I learned, Miss Kitty, you're probably the only one here listening to my story, so that's okay. One of the things that I had to learn too was, Miss Kitty, was that was for me, like, for love, like, I never accepted it. Like, I always believed that, and this is the problem why I didn't have a boyfriend and why my relationships would last long. I always believed that I was never good enough to be loved, or good enough for someone to care about me and someone to love me. Like, I just didn't believe that that could exist to me because of what had happened to me. So I threw away a lot of relationships and people that I pushed a lot of people away from me because I was so afraid of being loved and being respected, because I didn't believe that I was able to be. I felt dirty. I felt, violated. I felt so many things that happened to me in this life that it was hard. It was very, very hard to talk about and to do it. And it's just now, like, because I had to keep it hidden so much. Hello, Geraldine. How are you? Because I had to keep the molestation part of my life hidden for so long. It was something I was very, very, very used to, in my life. And so, yeah, it changes a lot of who you are. And you're very, very right. Did Debbie leave me? Did Debbie leave me? Oh, she probably paused it. So she paused it. Okay, good. It does. And, Debbie really inspired me. Debbie was one of the first people. When Debbie came out and told her story, hang on a second. Let me get something to drink, Kitty, because I want to tell you about this, because this is very important to mine and Debbie's relationship. Hang on.
Am I back, guys? Yeah.
I want to say something to you, and I'm gonna run.
That was my mom letting me know that, my friend's husband that died, they had made the arrangements, and she saw where they had changed the funeral homes where he was going to be. So I needed to, Yes, it definitely does change the essence of who we are.
I know that. But listen, so here's what I was going to say to Debbie, and I was just about to tell Kitty. When I met Debbie, and Debbie, the day that Debbie told her story, and I'm going to confess this to Debbie because I've never said this to her.
Yeah.
Debbie, at that moment, I was a little jealous of her at first because she was brave enough to do what I couldn't do. Okay. But then she became almost my hero, because even though, and she took some crap for people saying ugly things, she got attacked by trolls, things like that scared me to think, I don't want to talk about this because of what Debbie went through. But at that time, Debbie really encouraged me to think, you know what? That's when I actually started to heal. Was as bad as I sat in that chat, and Debbie, I was in there when she talked about on Uber's channel. It was probably, to this day, besides losing my mom and my brother, the hardest thing I ever had to sit through was listening to Debbie talk about that in her life. First of all, that's like my sister, who I adore, and I know she don't know how. Sometimes I think she's a woman, don't think I love her, but Debbie will never understand how much she is my real hero, because she made me realize, you know what? I gotta let this go. I can't live my whole life like this. I have to be brave. Maybe I'm not going to share it here on YouTube because people like to run their mouths and say crazy shit. As you know, Debbie, that's true. And,
you know what, Bradley? I did not get, as far as telling the story on Uber's chat, I did not get any bad backlash. It only came once. Somebody said something 1 or 2 times, and it wasn't the real Carlos. It was that other Carlos that came in, the mean one. And he said it. He said it twice, and then that was never. And then that's when I had said something and accused him of it. And he came and sent me a thing on my Hangouts and said, Debbie, I promise that was not me. I would never ever say that to you. He said, I know that story. I would never. And it's kind of weird. I can tell the real one from the fake one by the way he types.
He loves you for some reason. You're like his favorite person.
I don't know why.
Hey, lady. Hey, and that. Yeah, but you are his. But what I say, Miss Kitty, was at that point, like, because when I came onto YouTube, the person that, if you watch my video, Kitty, I don't know if you watched it, where I speak the truth. The person that was basically running my channel, you know, who was telling me how to do, kept telling me not to speak out about it, not to speak out about it. And to me, it was something that was very important to me because it had lived, and grew up with a lot of hate in my heart, just anger. And I realized that that's what I was mad about, was that I wasn't allowed to talk about it, and that I wasn't brave enough. You know, I was brave enough to come out of the closet and go, hey guys, I'm gay. I like boys. But I wasn't brave enough to admit what was really deep down inside. And I had relationship issues. My last boyfriend that I was with before Kevin, one of our biggest issues was that I was not affectionate and I did not want to be touched. I did not like to be touched. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to touch him. Well, with Kevin, Kevin is also a very affectionate guy. Kevin likes to be touched. He likes to hold hands. He wants to be affectionate. So I'm having to learn with Kevin that that's something Kevin needs. So this weekend that's going to be something that I'm going to have to work on myself. You know, I'm not used to some guy wanting me to hold his hand or some guy wanting me to hug him. And that's just not me. I'm not used. Don't do that. Don't touch me in the bed. Don't touch me. I don't want to be affectionate. And my ex-boyfriend and I actually broke up because of that. But it was because I never really shared a lot of my past with my ex-boyfriend. And I think had he understood that the way Kevin does, he would have, we'd probably still be together because he loved me, but he didn't understand. Why do you not find, you know, what am I doing wrong that I can't touch you? Or why do you not want to touch me or be affectionate to me? You know, Kevin's like, I want you to walk up and hug me. If I'm standing in a store and you feel the urge to hug me, come hug me. I'm not going to break. I like that stuff. So Kevin's been really good at teaching me that kind of stuff. And he told me last night, he's like, baby, if there is anything that happens, whether it be a hug, a touch, anything this weekend that you cannot handle, you just tell me and it will not happen again. You know, plain and simple. Like, I'm not going to force you any further with anything that you're not ever comfortable with. You know,
when I first got with met my husband that I'm with now, he I didn't want him touching me. I and you know, when it came to sex, yeah, I would have sex with him, but after the sex thing, I didn't want, like, all I wanted was, okay, yeah, we'll have sex. Don't touch me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We'll just do sex. Don't touch me. When we were living together, or even spending the night together, I would hug the opposite side of the bed. I would not cuddle with him. I would ask him questions like, "Are you going to beat on me? Are you going to rape me? Are you going to do
oh my
this? Do
gosh,
that?" And
yeah,
because that in the back of my head is going on, you know. So he kept having to reassure me, reassure me, reassure me. And he said he would say, "Baby, I don't know what else to do." He said, "I
yeah.
have showed you in every way possible. I don't what he said, what do you want me to do?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't know what to do." And I finally just had to make myself go there and realize that this man was not going to put his hands on me. He was not going to sexually abuse me in any way, or anything like that. And once I figured that out, um, everything, everything is okay. It was okay. But I find myself even now thinking back at different times and getting in my head, you know, and remembering what happened. And I don't want to do that, but
Yeah.
I find myself doing it.
Well, you know, Debbie, that's like me. Like, I've had this in my mind all day. Like, he likes to be affectionate. He likes to be touched, and not sexually, but just he likes you holding his hand or giving him a hug or putting your hand on his knee in the car. That's my ex was the same way. I refused to. If my ex walked up to me and would hug me, I would shiver, like quiver. And he was like, "Do you not find me attractive?" Like, it was starting to bother him because he didn't know what was going on. Like, if we were in a public place, well, first of all, part of it comes from, and I told Kevin, I was like, my affection in public comes from, I grew up in the generation where being gay was not very acceptable. So men did not hug each other in public places because you were scared of getting attacked and beaten, you know, for being gay. So I have to work on that. But what I'm trying to work on with Kevin is definitely, I'm reading this whole, I got to look that up. I will do that. I will get that this weekend. I will write that down, Miss Kitty, in the 5 love languages. But basically, I'm having to learn, you know, and I look back at my ex and realize that so much of what he was trying to do, I was just refusing. And it's because of
It's
what I,
control. It's
yeah.
control.
So with Kevin, I've had to tell him. And so I'm going to try, Debbie, and it's going to be experience, you know, like last night he said, you know, part of us is like, okay, you know what? We're in a strange city. No one knows us. If we want to walk down the street holding hands, who the hell cares? We don't live here, you know? But at the
Right.
same time, there's a part of me that thinks, oh God, if I hold Kevin's hand, someone's going to attack us and kill us. And there's also a part of me that thinks, oh God, this is no, I don't want, I can't be shown affection. So I'm going to have to work on giving him a little bit. We're going to have to find, like he said last night, he said, baby, we'll find a happy compromise that makes us both happy. And I think those were some of the most beautiful words anyone ever said to me, because he wasn't like, you have to do this or we're going to break up, or you have to do this or I'm not coming to see you. It was, let's try it while we're here. And if it's uncomfortable, we will find a thing. He's like, let's try it Friday night, Saturday, or someone said, and if you can't just stop right there, tell me. And he said, we'll think together of a way that I can get that affection from you that makes you comfortable and makes me comfortable. And I
Yeah.
thought, wow, that's the first book I've ever dated that said that. It wasn't, you know, well, then we're just going to break up. It was, he was like, because there's got to be a way out there that we can both get what we want and be happy and comfortable,
Right.
to make you happy and make me comfortable. You know, he's like, if it's got to be sneaking behind a building and sneaking a kiss behind a building, there's got to be a solution to this problem. We just have to find it together. And no guy's ever tried to make me find that solution together.
Yeah.
No one's ever tried to make me go there and to do that. So that's definitely, I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, Kevin. You know, like I really, so, you know, and he told me before we hung up last night, he said, if anything happens that you are uncomfortable with, you know, either we're going to have a word or something that I'm just going to say it. And then that way he knows, okay, this is making him uncomfortable. Like,
Right.
like he said, we'd rather come up with like a word. You get like a word, for instance, and you say, not a common word like waffles, because then well, he's gonna think, what, baby, you want waffles? Like, you know, like what's wrong with waffles? You know, like something unusual like unicorn. And if you just say
Right.
unicorn, we're walking and he's touching me, rub my finger, and I say unicorn, he knows, okay, this makes Bradley uncomfortable. Now, people might look at me and think, oh God, what the hell is this man saying unicorn for? But at the same time, you know, he is able to stop and say, okay, he doesn't like his finger rubbed, but he's letting me hold his hand. So we've gotten,
Right.
this is giving Kevin what he needs, but it's not giving, this is upsetting him. Or he might let go of my hand and I might lock his finger with my finger. And then he goes, okay, he's getting his, and this is things that I've been trying to work on in my mind with Kevin, because I
Right.
want him to come in. I want Kevin to have an amazing trip and I want him to have a great time. We're going to have amazing sex and we're going to have an amazing time. And he, like you said, it's not just about the sex between us. We're going to have a good time. I want to enjoy, I want him to have a wonderful time. I want him to feel very special. I want him, you know, but I don't want him to leave thinking, well, you know what, this guy, I can't be with you because you just can't give me what I need. So it's the
Right.
first time that I've got to step outside of that box and be willing to, I got to be willing to be there and to be that. So this is going to be definitely a learning experience for me and an experience for me of coming outside of that box. And, you know, I mean, I might even make a video about it. I don't know. Because, you know, I probably won't communicate with y'all very much because to me, it is all about Kevin this weekend, you know? It's
Well,
about,
you have to. It has to be about him because this is where you're going to get to know this man that you have never actually met face to face.
right. And Gabe told me last night, Gabe's like, I know you love me and you love Debbie and Tracy and all your friends. He's like, but you know what? Don't be texting us every 5 minutes. He's like, we'll be here. He's like, if you're in trouble, yes, text us. He's like, but he's like, enjoy your time with Kevin. Leave your damn phone in the hotel. You know, he said, have fun because this is someone who has shown you so far so much love without actually being with you that
Yeah.
you need to open it. That what Gabe said, Bradley, take an example. If you went, you know, like when I go to visit Kevin, I know he works, he may get called into work. I got that because that's his job. There's a difference. But like, you know, how would you feel, Debbie, if I came down to visit you and stay the week with you, and all I do is text everybody every 5 minutes, talking on the phone every 5 minutes? You feel
Well,
like,
and
damn,
how would you? I would feel like you were disrespecting me.
Right. Like, well, damn, you came to see me, but damn, everybody else is more important than you. Well, hell, you know,
Yeah.
we hung out so we could get to know each other and hang out. I mean, we already know each other, but you know, you came to visit me, and now all of a sudden you're hanging. You know, you want to talk to everybody else, and I mean, I would feel very PO'd if somebody did that to me. So, but see, the old me would have done that just because, and that's why Gabe knew it, because that's how I hid from the commitment part of it. If oh, okay, let me text Debbie and let me get lost in this conversation, and then I don't have to deal with Kevin. But you know, and then I got to realize that I am getting older, and I don't want to die alone,
Right.
and I don't want to be lonely in the end of my life. You know, I don't want to be that guy that they find in an apartment someday that's been dead for 3 months because I had no one in my life. So I love Kevin, and Kevin knows this, and I'll say it to us. He knows it, so he'll watch this, I'm sure. I'm not in love with Kevin because I don't know Kevin like that. But
Right.
this weekend, I do love him with all my heart. And is he in love with me? I really believe he loves me very deeply because Kevin there's nothing he won't do for me. But I believe that this weekend will tell a lot for both of us. I think we both have been fighting that really is this what we want to see it. I don't know. There's things that about Kevin, there's things that Cher said it best in that song. It's in his kiss. You know, after in his kiss, that's where it is. Like I believe that you'll know. You know, when you met your husband, Debbie, when you looked in his face or he kissed you for some, you knew. You knew, wow, this man makes me smile. This man, you knew that first time your husband kissed you, you not go, wow, oh my God,
Well, I knew that I was going to meet him before I actually met him because when I was in Italy, I had this Greek lady that was a friend of mine read my tea leaves. And I was still married at the time. And she told me, she said, you are about to fly on a big bird and you are going to go to another country, meaning the United States. Um, she said, you it won't be long and you will meet a tall, dark, and very handsome man. And this man is going to save your life and you will have another child. You will
wow,
have a child. And I said, I can't have a child. He signed to have my tubes tied. I can't have a child. She said, I'm telling you, you're going to meet the love of your life, tall, dark, and beautiful man. And she said, it's going to change your life and you will have another child. And within less than 2 years, about a year and a couple of months after that, I did leave him. And,
wow,
and, and within a few months, I met my husband. He was dark headed. He was 6'1". He was very good looking. He just was, and we do have a child, you know, and she just and I did fly. I flew home. I was not scheduled to fly home, but when he pulled that, when he beat on me and he broke my ribs and all that, and did all that to me, and I turned him in for having that gun. They flew me back home, and so I had no idea what was going to be happening. I didn't know, but then I started thinking everything that woman had told me, it was true.
wow, wow.
And it blew my mind. I think about it all the time because she was right.
Well,
And
that's weird you say that because I went to when I was 16 years old. I've never told this story. This something new, kid, baby. When I was 16 years old, I went to the county fair in Charleston.
yeah,
Had one of them palm reader ladies, and I was dating this girl, and she's like, "Oh, you should go in there." And I was like, "Hell no, I ain't doing that crap. That's girl crap." I was a big old trying to be man. And so my mom was like, going in there. So I said, all right, I'm going to go. So I went in, and my mama went in. My mama came out. She was like, oh my God, you got to go in there. So I was like, fine, whatever. I'm going to go in there. So this woman, y'all, she told me stuff. Like, she told me stuff. Like at 16, she told me stuff. She said, I was going to be loved, but she said, you're going to find your true love, but it won't be a woman. I was 16. Okay. She
oh,
told me, she said that I was going to have a really rough life, that I was going to go through a lot of things, addictions, and a lot of things that I was going to go through, not necessarily a drug addiction, but addiction. And You know, as you know, I got addicted to food. I'm addicted to, I was addicted to sex for a while. Like, you know, so like a lot of things that, and everything that that palm reader has told me to this day has come true. When
Right.
I met that leads up to when I met that woman, and I told you the story of when I met the woman in my store that time, remember? Who
Yeah.
told me everything up to that point in my life. So both times I've had these spiritual, the first one was a palm reader, the second one said she was a messenger from God, that have really put me in a creepy place, that both have said to me, and both of them told me I would find love later in life.
Yeah.
So is Kevin my true love? I don't know. I can't say that. I don't know. But he's going to be the first time. There's a line in Rebel Without a Cause that Natalie Wood says, where she says, I've spent my whole life loving but never being loved in return.
Right.
I didn't feel that way, but part of it is because I didn't want to be loved. I didn't know how to be loved. I didn't know. I was talking about my mom earlier in this live stream, where my mom didn't really know always how to love us and how to be a mom. Like my dad doesn't always know how to love. So it was like with Kevin, this is going to be the first time that I'm going to say, wow, like Kitty just typed, wow, you know, this man really can care about me, you know. And everybody's telling me every day, why are you so stupid? Long distance relationships, you know, it don't work. But you know what? They can.
Yeah,
Kevin
they can. They
Kevin
can.
makes it, like Kevin makes it work. Like Kevin will call me from the daytime. He texts me. He calls me every night. That's why I'm not a lot of live streams and stuff. And I think to myself, you know what? I love all of y'all, and I do support you. And I go watch your videos, and I thumb up your videos. As you know, I watch your live streams that later on, and I thumb them up and everything. But for me, for this man who so far has shown me more love than I've had in a long time, since my brother died, and I've started opening back up my heart, for someone who has shown me that much love, the least I can do is talk to him on the phone every night from 10 to 12. That's the least I can do, you know. That's all he asked me to do every day, is just be there. And that's no phones, no nothing, just he and I talking about whatever we decide to talk about, you know. And like Gabe was the first person who taught me um, how to live again. And I have a great respect for Gabe. And I see Gabe sometimes kind of getting lost in his own depression in his own world. And I really
Right.
didn't want Gabe to fall into what I was. But Gabe is
Right.
also like me. He's very stubborn. And the more I push him, the more he's going to do it. But
Right.
he will never understand how amazing he is. And then like you and you were the first person who, when I came out of this whole situation on YouTube, you and one other YouTuber, as I told you, I'm not going to say the name because they're not on YouTube anymore, were the first two people that I opened up about what I felt and what I was going through on YouTube with that person I spoke about. So I feel like, you know, you're kind of, again, you were my hero. You know, Debbie's my hero. So believe it or not, Debbie, you're like my hero in a lot of ways. I admire you were this, and you weren't this, you know, you were funny as hell, but you weren't as brassy and as brave as you were at first when I met you on YouTube. You know,
Yeah.
you develop a little bit of a backbone, which has made me very proud of you.
Yeah.
That's kind of why sometimes I know you, like, you don't care about me, you don't think, but I thought, you know what, sometimes as a friend you have to stand back and let them get it for a minute, because eventually they're going to fight back, and when they do, then you ain't got then you get their back. So I had to stand and let you get it for a minute. And it comes from when I got really, when I was in my bad way, Jamie, Lisa Perez, and I, after we didn't speak for a year and a half, we didn't speak at all, not a word, not a phrase. We didn't speak at all. He was so mad at me because I said something really ugly to him when I was in a bad way.
Wow.
Awful. He didn't speak. And right one day on my birthday, a couple of days before he had me blocked on Facebook. One day I got a message about 2 weeks, about a week before my birthday.
Wow.
I answered it. I answered the request. About 2 days later, I got a IM and said, hey. I said, hey, how are you? I said, I'm good. He said, that's good. Didn't say another word. Well,
Wow.
2 days later, he's like, hey, so anyway, the day of my birthday, he's like, hey, happy birthday. And I said, thank you. He's like, yeah, no problem. What are you doing? I said, nothing, just sitting here chilling. I'm about to run some errands. And he's like, oh, that's cool. He said, yeah. So he said, well, that's cool. He said, I'm about to run some errands too. And I said, that's cool. Have a good day. And he said, have you been outside yet? And I said, no. Why would I go outside? It's cold. He said, you should go outside. It's beautiful. And I said, why would I go outside? It's cold. He said, put a jacket on, moron, and just go outside. It's a beautiful world. And he was standing on my front porch.
Oh, wow.
And so we went out, and I just burst into tears. I cried. And he said, we're not going to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
He showed me the best birthday where he took me to the movies. We just had the best time. Finally, at the end of the weekend, he and I sat down. We talked about it. And this is what he said to me. He listened to me. He said, I understand, but let me tell you something. He said, you had to go through this journey alone. We couldn't help you. This was the first time in your life that we as your friends had to push you into the ring and let you fall because you were never going to merge if you didn't. And at first I thought, bitch. But then I realized, you know what? That's exactly the best thing he could have ever done for me because I never would have grown had I had them, Shannon and Lisa, on them as a crutch.
Right.
To learn to fight and to let go of things. They couldn't. Jamie said, brother, we couldn't let go of the things that you needed to let go of. They're not our problems. We can't tell you all day long to let go, but if you're not willing to let go of something, it's not going to go away. And that's what I tell you, and that's why when you're going through it. So I do care about you, and I do always 190. Like I said earlier on when you first got, I said I can call her a hooker, but I dare anybody else to ever call her a hooker. That's my hoe. You know what I'm saying? You and Tracy are my hoes. I can call y'all whatever you want, but y'all, but nobody else better. But I am there for you. But I just had to watch you sometimes grow on your own, and I'm so proud of the fact that I don't have to jump in and save you. Girl, you can fight your own battles. Girl, you can fight so much better. Not necessarily fight, y'all. I'm not saying she's a troublemaker. Debbie can stand up for herself. That's the word I want to use, not fight. Debbie's not a fighting person. She can stand up for herself, where she couldn't.
I've always growing up. I've always stood up for myself. I got feedback. Hold on. Why there's a feedback?
I don't hear it. I don't know.
I do.
Oh, there it is.
I do. Anyway, my deal is I've always growing up, I've stood up for myself. I've been in fights. And then my deal was when I came to YouTube, my deal was I did not want the drama, the trouble that I was seeing building up on YouTube. I just did not want my channel to be part of it. So I was very careful of what I said, very mindful of how I treated people. And I still am. I don't treat people bad. That's not in my, I don't want to do it. That's just not my everyday deal. I mean, do I get mad at people? Yeah, I get mad. I just try really hard to control my mouth. And
we're human. We're gonna get mad at people.
Huh?
We're human. We're gonna get mad at people. I mean, it's yeah. Like my nose. Look, I took my beard off. I mean, but basically, like you and I have clashed over many things in many ways that we've had issues with each other in many, many, many ways. And it's basically the fact of, you're a strong person. I'm a strong-willed person, but I always wasn't. And that's the thing people say to me a lot of, I get letters, people online, they'll write me and I'll say, oh, how are you so strong? But I always wasn't. I had to learn myself. I had to grow. I had to grow myself. And that's what I think I'm the most proud of in myself in YouTube is because I'm like you. I was terrified. I was like, girl, I say the wrong thing. I will be on every damn channel. People gonna be talking about me. People gonna be making up lies. And that gonna hurt my feelings. Because if you're gonna talk about me, there's two things I say. And I tell you this all the time, Debbie, quote me correctly. If you're gonna quote me correctly. If you're gonna quote Debbie correctly. Don't be like making up shit she didn't say. Tell it, say what she said. If you was in that chat and Debbie said it, then quote her correctly. I don't have a problem with that. But don't add stuff to it. Don't say, Debbie said she's wearing a blue, green, and yellow sneakers. No, she said I'm wearing blue and red sneakers. She didn't say no about green and purple. Get out. Don't quote her. And also, know your facts. Know your facts. Don't be running your mouth blindly on people. And don't say, and I guess to me, it was like, I can't believe that just the world of hate and hurt that exists sometimes. I couldn't handle it, and the hatred that goes on. And that's why I was telling somebody the other day, I've had to kind of push myself away from it. I like, your husband would never allow someone to come on YouTube and just bash you to the point where it was really doing damage to you. Ever.
No. Oh my God, no.
I know he wouldn't. Big Papa never looked at. But like with Kevin told me, and I told you this yesterday. Kevin's like, baby, I'm proud of you. Kevin's making me a studio in his house to make YouTube because he has no problem with YouTube. But he told me people start getting on you, it's done. I'm done. He's going to jump in because he said, I'm not make you stop, but he, he'll find out who's doing it and he'll say something to him. He will get the bottom of it because he's not going to stand. If they say something to Debbie or Tracy, anyone that you love, they're not going to do that. He's not going to allow that to happen. He's like, I'm not going to allow you to sit in a room and people bash your family or bash you for no reason because they're upset in their own damn life. That's just not the way it is. And I guess you, to me, you're my sister. You're a sister. We fight like brother and sister. You are my sister. Like, you are like family to me.
Yeah.
I may never put my little itty bitty eyeballs on you, but you are my sister. Like, I know unconditional. You could be mad as fire at me right now. I love you, Kitty. You could be mad as fire at me. But if I come to you and call you in the middle of the night and I legitimately need you, you're like, you know what? It's good, TPG. What you need, baby? I'm here. Like, you're not going to throw, well, baby, I'm mad at you. I ain't calling you. I don't care. I'm not helping you. I don't want to hear it. I'm not listening. And you have the same thing with me. We could have just had a fight, and 10 minutes later, you can call me up and need me, and I'll be there. I'm gonna be like, you know what? That fight's not important right now. So I just want you to know I do care about you. I do love you, and you are the strength, and not just me, but to a lot of people on YouTube. You really have inspired a lot of people to stand up for themselves, to tell their stories. And I'm gonna tell you something, Debbie, and then I'm gonna get off here because I know we both got to go. I could not have made that video the other day that I made if it wasn't for you. And don't get me wrong, guys. She did not tell me to go make it. Now, she did not say go run your mouth. She gave me the strength to say, you know what? Sometimes we have to step forward and say the thing that was hurting us the most. And that's what was hindering me the most at YouTube of being a creator, was that situation. I had to speak freely and give my side of the story because I never had.
Yeah. Well, it was your place to do it. It was your story.
I swept it under the rug, and I did not talk about it. I talked to you about it in great lengths when I met you. You and one other person were the first people. You were the very first person I ever spoke about it to, the very first person. And you didn't say to me then, go ahead. You said when you're ready, you'll speak out about it. You'll solve the problem, know. And I did make peace with that person. At least I hope we did, But I'm done. Huh?
You did, at least.
I did, and I made peace with myself, but I still felt like my story had to be told,
Well, yeah. I mean,
what I would just
get it out of your, once you get it out, you feel better.
I don't hate that person. I don't resent that person. If that person called me dad, I'd still be their friend. I'd still talk to him. But I had to let it be known what was going on just in my heart for my sake,
But it'll never be the same.
No, hell no. No. We'll never be close like that again. And you were so scared of that in the beginning too. And there will never, ever be that way. Like my ex-boyfriends, I'm friends with 3 of my ex-boyfriends. Okay. Very good friends with them, very close to them. They know they can call me anytime, day or night. I'd never date them again. I'd never sleep with them again. But I will be there for them if they need me. That person could call me. I would listen to them. I would talk to them, whatever. But I will never be close friends. I don't trust them enough.
Yeah.
I don't trust him, but I don't wish him ill. I said karma can get you sometimes, but I believe that I'm not going to wish anyone ill will for their own jealousies and their own pity. It just makes me feel stupid that I allowed it to happen to me, that I allowed someone to do me like that, But
Uber's about to come on now.
What is? Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I didn't realize what time it was. I gotta go. I've got so much to do before Kevin will be here tomorrow, and I got so much to do. So anyway, I will talk to you later. I love you, and I will see you soon. Okay.
Okay. So, love you too.
I love you too, and I will talk to you guys. I thank you guys for coming by, and make sure you hit the thumbs up. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.